like, oh shit, yeah, my shit's not even plugged in. Hold on, let me. Like ever since I did this shit, man. Yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah. Oh no, it wasn't even plugged. This shit wasn't even plugged in. Hold on, my bad. Yeah. Thank you for catching that shit before I went live. I'm like, I was looking, I was like, hold on, my shit ain't muted, but then I realized nothing was going on. I was talking. You know what's fucked up? I did. All right, so I'll put it in the podcast. So I have to correct it. Fuck it. Put this right here. Yeah, we want to hear your throat. Ray trace audio. There we go. I'm gonna have to bring this PC apart again. I've been Yo. Settings, properties. There we go.
What's up with Sad Boy and Chris Righteous?
It's Sad Boy, that man's been MIA.
MIA, yo. It's MIA. Yeah.
We need
What's up, gentlemen?
What's up, man?
All right, man. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Planet Xbox episode 110. Is that even correct? 110.
110.
Yep.
110, baby.
Right.
All right, man. So shout out to the panel. I'm your host, the best spot kid, Smooth. He's at Stream Can't Hear Me. Yeah, I was talking mad shit. All right, so I am your host, Kid Smooth. Bloods Red, like I said, you're always welcome.
You don't want smoke?
You don't want smoke today? Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're going to be talking about those monitors, so maybe he got something to say. I don't know. But yeah, let's get into the intros, man. Ole Man Logan, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, guys? I'm good. I'm just chilling. I got a week and a half off. So I'll be doing tons of gaming at work. So yeah, they gave us I got a week and a half off. I was chilling, playing tons of games, and ready to have another great podcast.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Shout out to Logan. And we got, Dopest J.
What's up, guys? Some great gaming going on. A lot of good things. My semester is done, so I have a lot more free time now to actually dive into some games. I've been I picked back up Cyberpunk on PC recently. Beautiful game, runs well. Story's picking up for me right now, so I'm having a fun time doing that. And yeah, let's get into these topics.
And we got NickBanks.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Planet Game Pass. Now, welcome to Planet Xbox. You notice your narcoleptic gamer. I fall asleep in a minute. But yeah, let's talk about some games, man. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we got Ham Solo 05 returning. What's up, man?
I think it's so funny that everybody calls me Ham Solo when it says ham.
It's supposed to say Ham Solo. I knew I've been set up once.
But I thought there was something else going on.
It needs to, you know why? Because I want to say Han Solo. That's why.
I know everybody reverts to that automatically, but thanks for letting me get on the show today. You can find me at TSWS Gaming, where I do just random things about games, have interviews on there twice a week, every Tuesday and Thursday. Had Kid Smooth on there a while back. But yeah, it's been pretty good day for me and my daughter. A really bad day for R. Kelly, on the other hand. Though.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, you're right.
He's down bad.
Yeah,
but
man. That's it. And then, okay, so today, we got, a couple things to talk about. I do want to start with the I don't know if we covered this last week. It came. I forgot when it's not really news because we always knew it was coming, but it's I guess it's now active, which is the FSR Fidelity FX FSR 2.0 is now available for Xbox consoles. And it's available in the GDK for developers to take advantage of, to make use of it. Dope. I'm pointing to you on this one. What should we be seeing with this? And how soon should we see some shit like this?
How soon? Well, it depends on if these developers are gonna backport this into existing games on Xbox, or just focus on new games moving forward and putting it inside those games. So the biggest thing is you're gonna see increased performance from certain games, and then even better image quality. So the biggest issue with some of these games, we've seen this recently with Horizon, but they were able to fix it, is that their internal TAA solution is not good, so image quality suffers in performance mode. But FSR 2.0 can mitigate that because you have much better image quality, a much better algorithm behind it as well to maintain performance and image quality at the same time. So in regards to cross development of games on both PC and Xbox, you're going to see a lot more titles have FSR 2.0 on Xbox. And like I said, better fidelity, better performance as a result of that.
All right, good to hear. Good to hear. So hopefully, what I'm looking to see out of that, I'm sorry, the back plate of my monitor just came falling, but I'll leave it down. But no, the what I'm hoping to see is, I want to see developers go back to games if they have like time, and to enable this so they can hit those targets and to hit those performance metrics. There's obviously a ton of games that could definitely use it. I think of like games like Dying Light 2, right? There's also games with obviously ray tracing modes where the performance isn't too like great when you enable it, and we got examples of that with Resident Evil, I think 2 and 3, the remake for the next gen versions of those games. Now the concerns that I have, not fair, but the concerns that I have is that you have developers such as Capcom and their RE engine and other developers with their own engines that kind of have this form of upscaling and checkerboarding or performance saving thing where they can try to get their resolution or their image quality up, and they might just fall back on that. So for example, I don't foresee Capcom using anything else since all that stuff is available in their engine, right? Because we know they have a form of checkerboarding, have a form of upsampling and upscaling their resolution, and those techniques to, I guess, attempt to save performance. They give off a good quality image for whatever they're using, but they still need help with the performance side. At least just the early indications of what we've been playing of the Resident Evil 2 and 3. But I don't know why I went to Resident Evil, but 7 runs flawlessly. So it's just for some reason the third person ones aren't running that great with it enabled. But I'm looking forward to it. NickBanks, you got any thoughts on the FSR 2.0 coming to Xbox?
No, definitely don't. I don't really care.
Well, most benefit the little Xbox. I'm just still surprised. It'll most benefit the Series S.
Well, the Series S will definitely see the most benefit from that.
Yeah, because they can hit the targets that it was intended for with that. Like,
well, I'll say this then. I'm gonna give a quote from my boy Chris Righteous. I'll wait and see. I don't really know too much about that. So
okay. Bless Red has showed up. What's up? He's probably still getting this stuff ready. Oh, there you go. Oh, you're driving. Okay, well,
the Master Race driving.
Logan, you got any thoughts on this FSR update?
No, I don't really. I didn't even know anything about it till you guys just mentioned it right now.
Gotcha. On top, so I mean, being that, I mean, we do have PlayStation came now. This cryptic, this announcement came out of nowhere, right?
with Sony, I know everybody's waiting for the June 30th God of War release date announcement. That's what has been heavily anticipated, and people believe themselves into of a state of a play that's supposed to occur. But instead, Sony announced a new line of monitors and headphones. Now, I didn't research or read anything about the headphones. I just looked into the monitors because obviously, I like monitors, and I like, what some of the new line monitors has been able to come out, and these consoles being able to take advantage of them. They have, and dope, correct me if I'm wrong, it's 3 options that the models that they have, right? Or is it?
No, for monitors, there's 2. It's 3 options for the headset.
Headphone. Okay, all right, 3. And could you elaborate on the options that are there? I know there's, I believe, one at 4K, one at 1080p. Is that?
Yeah. So you have the InZone M9. That is the 4K 144 hertz display that they have.
Mm-hmm. And what's the retail on that?
The retail on that's $899.
Okay.
Yeah. So $899 for that. So you have it's display HDR 600, 95% of DCI-P3 color space, full array local dimming as well. Variable refresh rate, G-Sync compatible, HDMI 2.1. So that one's going to be targeted towards high-end PCs and PS5. And then you have the InZone M3, which is their 27-inch 1080p 240 hertz esports like competitive display as well. That one's display HDR 4000. VRR HDMI 2.1 as well. That one is $529.99. I think that one's a bit on the higher end of the price spectrum, especially for a 1080p display.
Yeah.
Sporting that refresh rate versus the competition that does it a bit better. So, 2 compelling offering. The branding behind PlayStation and Sony is definitely gonna sell these displays a lot versus its competitor, but I don't think it's the best option in the market, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you said 1080p for $529.
Yeah, so the biggest thing is like it's 1080p 240 240 hertz.
240 hertz.
Like, even then, there's competition that makes the displays like the same type of specs at a cheaper price. So they can't say, but it's 240 hertz. That's the biggest cost. No, it's not. Like you're still at 1080p. Like I said, those type of displays aren't expensive to manufacture. They're gonna market that as the esports ultra competitive display for those kind of guys and sell you on that. That's why the price is what it is. But in all actuality, it shouldn't be that price.
And these monitors are already out, right?
Those you can pre-order.
Okay.
Yeah, what's up?
I was gonna say there are 1080p 240 hertz monitors that are 500. It depends on the quality of the display, and if they have something like ELBM, what was it called? Basically, like helps with motion blur persistence. But that monitor doesn't have that. Doesn't seem like it. So I know the 4K one doesn't. So I don't think the 1080p one's gonna have a better a motion persistence mode, like a black frame insertion or black strobing mode, basically. I don't think it's gonna have that. So I don't know if it's gonna actually warrant the price, but the 4K one seems like it's actually in a good spot.
It's in a decent spot. My issue with the 4K one is that it doesn't have a wider color gamut than like the LG or even the Samsung. And at the 4K space, there's more compelling options. And in the future, from a company like LG, for example, right, they're expected to have a technology called IPS Black, which is going to eliminate IPS glow from the monitor, or at least reduce it from what they're saying. So they're going to have a 4K 144 hertz display as well, around that range. And then they also plan on having a 1440p OLED display at 27 inches as well at 240 hertz. Coming out next year as well. So depending on the price of that, that might just kill the 1080p option, honestly.
That actually.
We're losing you, Bless.
You hear me?
Now, but you're cutting in and out.
Yeah, you gotta get home.
Asking, is that announced or rumor?
No, that's announced. Like that's in production.
Real shit? Okay. Better done. If DR, obviously, but this is OLED most likely. But yeah.
I mean, how How many?
Give me a second.
Okay. How many of us game on like monitor? I know Logan, you're on monitor and you're on TV. I believe you have.
Yeah, I got it's an LG like 27-inch 4K monitor. I've been rocking for I think 3 years. I want to say now.
Okay. And that's what.
And then I got a LG 4K TV, but I don't have anything that can do like 120. Like I can do 120 hertz on my TV.
Yeah.
But that's only in 1080p.
Gotcha.
It doesn't do 4K.
Gotcha. And NickBanks, wish you got your the PlayStation and Series S2. I know we were like going back. I believe you have a monitor, right? I don't know if you have a link to a monitor or your TV.
I got the G30A. I got mine like what, a year or two ago.
Okay. The
Odyssey.
The Odyssey. Okay, it's the Odyssey family. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, is that the one? No, I had the one I had was the CH.
The older. Oh, he has this like the CHG or whatever that name is. The CH.
Nah, I got the G as in Greg. It's like 144 hertz.
Okay, yeah.
It's not. It don't have HDR or nothing like that.
Okay, that's what you have your PlayStation attached to, and a PlayStation.
No, that's what. No, I don't have I got my PlayStation up to my LG.
Okay,
but I only because I wanted my Series S to be looking good. That shit don't look good on 4K TV.
You know, you put it on the
I mean, gonna be honest.
You might want to invest in that.
Remember when I was complaining when I was playing Call of Duty and I was like, no smooth, something ain't right.
Oh yeah.
I was like, nah, man. That's exactly why I got the
Oh man, bro.
Like I need that great thing, but
yeah, hit me.
What'd you say, Bless?
Well, that shit was hella blurry. Like I was talking.
And that shit was blurry and it wasn't supposed to be. I just couldn't see nothing, bro.
Yeah, because he.
No, I think I had I didn't have the next gen version of Call of Duty. That's what it was.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. I remember. Yeah, you
That's bad, yeah.
Because they made you buy that shit separate. Like you. I remember that shit because they didn't support. Yeah, that was because they don't support smart delivery. So you literally, if you bought the wrong one, you bought the wrong one. Like, which was fucked up.
I'm talking Cold War. I ain't talking bad.
Yeah, Cold War. Yeah, I remember.
I really didn't know.
Because I was because I've been in the party and I was telling you how good Cold War looking. You was like, man, this shit. Let alone not knowing he didn't even play the Xbox One X version. He's playing the Xbox One S version, which has and I'm like, oh shit.
There was one thing I forgot to mention. That LG also has mini LED panels as well, so like similar technology to what you have in your current display Smooth, your Samsung.
Yeah,
they're also bringing that to their displays as well. So it's going to be a 27-inch mini LED at 144 hertz at 4K, display HDR 1000, and then they're going to have 1560 local dimming zones with that as well. So
that sounds about nice.
The next 2 years,
it's gonna be like 1,000. That's gonna be 1,000 plus. If it's not, that'd be crazy. If it's not.
The next 2 years of display technologies from both Samsung and LG alone is gonna be insane.
Yeah.
For what they're gonna be able to do and the type of technologies they're pumping into it. I'm still waiting for like 27-inch OLED monitors, but I don't think we're gonna get that for a while. So that 27-inch mini LED option is looking really, really good right now.
Yeah.
Well, you said the 1440 was OLED.
Yeah, but I don't want 2K OLED. I want 4K
you
OLED.
Want 4K, you want 4K. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, just 4K. Like I'm planning on getting rid of my 2K displays pretty soon.
So 1440p happening sooner than 4K. That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's a pricing thing for them or if they just say, hey, we want to push 2K high refresh rate first with OLED technology and then transition to 4K with that, but that's whatever decision LG is coming up with right now. I sent the article both in the Discord and I sent it to you personally so you can look at that based off of their development for their future panels. But yeah, Sony, decent options. I personally won't get them, but they're definitely going to be able to market this and brand this with PlayStation 5. I can easily see the advertisements and commercials that they're going to have. Buy a brand new PS5. Look at our monitors and our headsets. The headsets, it's crazy because I see people on Twitter that have amazing headsets that are considering getting these. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
You're just spending money just to spend money at this point.
So,
Buy phone, God, and get a standalone mic. All I have.
Bless, if you're talking about Mike, I mean, right now, you should be.
Mike, you need to get him when he wants to.
I was like, yeah, you got to, because I'm about to say, right now, you should be the last person criticizing mics right now. It just doesn't sound good.
You got it. I'm on.
Thanks.
You better throw some AirPods in real quick.
I don't know about it. I do have earbuds. I don't think this is.
Ham
Solo, I mean, I know you be playing on CRT sometimes, but do you currently is your like default game display a monitor? And what do you think of these PlayStation monitors, or Sony monitors? My bad. In the Zone sounds like an old football game.
Right. No, I play on a nano cell TV. I'm not really huge into playing on monitors. I have a Dell 165 hertz monitor that I game on occasionally, but I'm more of a TV guy. I'd rather sit in front of a TV, even though I know monitors are a little bit better or whatnot. I just like the relaxing feeling of sitting on my couch more than I do my computer chair, I guess. But as for the new PlayStation monitors, they look nice. They're going to be way too expensive. I can tell you that right off the bat. They're going to be way too expensive. I've never been a diehard Sony TV fan. I have one and it's nice, but it costs a lot of money, and it does just as much as the other TVs in my house do that didn't cost as much. So I'm cool with it. I mean, I'm happy for the people that are excited for it, but I personally don't really care.
Fair enough. Hold on. I'm sorry. So, dope.
Yep, what's good?
Would you consider these monitors like a must buy? Who would buy this monitor? Any of these options? Putting it on the market with all the other ones. Like,
I will tell you the type of customers that will buy this. There is definitely a lot of quote unquote casual gamers who do not update their displays whatsoever. You would be surprised how many people are still gaming on 1080p displays. Or like really cheap 4K TVs, right? So for the type of gamer that likes to play games like Call of Duty, Fortnite, like competitive FPSs, a couple single player games here and there, this is who they're gonna market that towards, right? I think the 1080p one is definitely gonna sell because they're gonna market that as their esports ultra competitive display. But for people who wants to have the highest fidelity, one, I wouldn't say best in class, but like the best you can get to maximize the potential of your PS5 and any other device that you're using, that's what that 4K one's going to be targeted at, right? Because you have HDMI 2.1, VRR, those features are very, very good to have. So that's who that's going to be targeted towards, because a lot of people simply don't upgrade their displays enough or frequently enough to be able to maximize the features or the fidelity that their systems are capable of. That's the biggest issue.
yeah.
And it's gonna have decent, have semi-adequate HDR too. 96 zones, a local dimming, more than 0 or more than 8 is a typical edge-lit display. It did better in HDR than I thought it would in the hub review.
Okay. Shout out to BG. I see him in the chat. He had a nice long discussion about these Sony monitors and
This man
whatnot.
had a 24-minute video. Goddamn.
But just give I see Verge in the chat. What's up? Pose, Bill Bones, Silver Joystick, Gregor Von Doom. They're laughing at me because I think you could hear me like chewing and shit. I think my mic
going in on whatever it is. We can't hear you, so it must be another mic picking it up.
It's probably OBS. It's like picking up every bite. I'm freaking hungry as hell.
Bro ate the bones, man.
and how much do you want for these headphones? I saw like a range of like $100 to like $300.
Yeah, I seen 300.
That's the range.
Oh my
300
god.
is the Endzone H9, H7 is $230, and then the H3 is $100.
But what's the difference? I'm like, because I don't invest like that in headphones. Like I'll buy me like, so for like regular headphones like I'm using now, I think these costed me like maybe $30-$40. But as far as headsets like for gaming, like I understand like there's like a lot and there's a lot of features, but I don't apply any of those features. It's like, all right, can I hear you? Can you hear me? That's about it. And then bonus is if it's completely wireless. So like I want to know what's really separating them in by $100 per model.
All right, so I'll give you the differences right now between all three. So you have the H3, which is the wired gaming headset with 3D spatial audio, the most basic one, right? That one is not going to be great. That's going to be like another 3D Pulse garbage bargain bin fucking headset, right? Then you have the Endzone H7, right? So that's their wireless headset with up to 40 hours of battery life, 10-minute quick charge. So you have that, and then you have the Endzone H9, which is their wireless noise cancellation one. So that one gives you 32 hours of battery life. They have an ambient sound mode, so you can hear everything else around you. And then they have this feature where you can connect both to your Bluetooth and the 2.5 gigahertz band. That's, you know how they come, like most wireless headsets come with an adapter. Mm-hmm. The two wireless ones come with a USB adapter, so you can have your headset connected to your USB adapter, listen to your PS5 gameplay, and then connect it to Bluetooth in your phone at the same time. And you can listen to a phone, or you can have a phone call and still game at the same time with the headset, which is pretty cool. So that's the difference between those three headsets. I don't like the design of them. That's me personally.
Yeah.
Other people like it. Decent features. I think a lot of people are gonna go with the H9 though. And then if you're on the discount, people are gonna go with the H3.
Gotcha. Is anybody interested in either the headphones or the monitors that like is like a realistic purchase for anyone?
Not me. I think SteelSeries, the Arxis Nova Pro is a way better option.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Basically the difference in sound quality from what I heard from a review, they're basically identical in terms of sound quality. You're basically paying for features. That's it.
Yeah.
So if you want the sound quality that you'd basically get from the H9, just buy the H3. But my recommendation is don't buy a gaming headset. Just buy a regular pair of headphones. They're gonna perform better anyway. So
I'm confused.
there's that.
Headphones?
Headphones, not a gaming headset.
So
If you were to buy, like say an AKG K361 for $100, they'll most definitely perform better.
and what do you solution for speaking?
A standalone mic. I mean, if you want to, you can get like a on mic or something like that. You know, it'll be a better mic than what's on the PS5 or what's on the headphones themselves.
No, I mean I agree with you in terms of like and overall. I haven't had a headset that had like better quality than like some of the headphones that I've purchased. So on terms of just listening and getting the sound, I'm 100% with you on there. But as far as communication, right now every time I jump on like when I'm on my computer and I jump on like an Xbox party chat or something like that, it's like it's not the best option because it's like cycling everything that's going on in my background into it, and I'm always getting muted or finding myself having to mute people. So, or I have to mute myself, not mute people. But just my take there.
With your current?
Yeah, my current.
You have the same mic I have. The Wave 3.
Yeah, that got a Wave. Yeah.
You have to cycle through, and your mic is too loud. I mean, your PS5 is not gonna, or your console is not gonna have exactly the same. It's not gonna be the exact same setting that your PC is on. You're gonna have to adjust the setting for the console to be the same. But other than that, I mean, it's the same mic.
That's the issue with consoles, is that they pick up more feedback, and they have no settings for like noise cancellation whatsoever. Like, you know how in Discord, you can turn on noise suppression, and it's just a software way of eliminating background noise.
Mm-hmm.
Consoles have nothing like that whatsoever. Like, Xbox picks up so much feedback for no reason, when they could just implement their own solution in the Xbox Live Party chat to have noise suppression.
That actually does exist. It's just nobody uses it, by the way. Just giving you a heads up. They do have, like, I never use it. It's there. Yeah. You just go into the audio settings.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's there, and to me, it's just like, I'm wondering who the hell you're playing with that's that loud in the background. I don't really play with people that are crazy loud in the background.
No.
I have a normal pair of Xbox wireless headset. My boy has.
I have Xbox wireless headsets. It's just that, like, any little thing that you're doing, like, if I say, hold on, let me just, like, send an email real quick, they can hear me typing on my keyboard. Weird.
Well, okay. Well, are you in the party chat from the computer or on your Xbox?
Like, actually on the Xbox. If I'm on my PC, I have NVIDIA Broadcast, which does that for me automatically, so it doesn't even matter.
Okay. What's up, Chris?
Well, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What's up?
What's up? How you doing?
Chilling, man. What are you? Why do y'all get like so hyped up? Like, cause I already see the titles. Like, y'all get so hyped up with like these like little small little crumb ass wins or whatever. Huh?
Hey man, it's a turning point.
I couldn't think of a better title, honestly.
Okay, because I was like, yo, this is like, okay, this is the second time. It's like, okay, Xbox outsold PlayStation in Japan by what, like 2,000 or 3,000, right? And you see a lot of people, you know, obviously we know the supply issues and whatever, right? You know, people, they don't like hearing that. You see people like overhype it, but they never hyped up that PlayStation Nintendo outsold Xbox in its own territory. They never hyped them shits up. They never hyped up that PlayStation Nintendo has been outselling Xbox in its own North American territory. I don't understand. So I don't understand why they get a little 1 week or like 2,000 or 3,000 units sold more, but they don't talk about like the hundreds or even millions of thousands of units PlayStation Nintendo when it comes to Xbox in this.
Chris, I feel like it just kind of depends on how you look at it. If you're looking at it as like, oh man, Xbox is about to thrax PlayStation, you're looking at it wrong. But if you're looking at it like, yo, they're actually making progress where they have completely fucked themselves previously, then you're looking at it like, man, that's a big dub. I mean, let's be real.
But what
numbers that were like around 50, 90 consoles.
You talking about the improvement is the big dub, or the fact that they
the improvement is the dub?
For 2000.
Like outselling another console isn't the big dub. Just selling in general compared to last generation is the dub.
Yeah, but that's not what people are celebrating though. If you look at the timeline and everything like that, they're not celebrating the improvement. They're celebrating that they can make the situation with like, oh shit, Xbox beat PlayStation in its home country. But those same people never say the same thing when it's reversed. When it's like,
I would. And what about when PlayStation beat Xbox in its home country, or Nintendo beat Xbox
that's
in
like
its home country?
To me, that's like silly, like sports arguing. I mean, it's
Well,
like people
what
saying,
that's
"Oh man, my
people-
squad beat the
that's
Warriors," but they're
that's the
garbage
people
at the end of the day.
I'm referring to. That's the people I'm referring to, which was a lot of people, which was like even IGN and all those people.
I mean, it's just clickbait. I mean, just like most.
All right, Chris,
I mean, you can say it's clickbait when you see Xbox articles. It's the same way when you see a PlayStation article.
Chris,
I see a whole lot of Nintendo articles.
Chris, I got one for you.
What the hell did you talking about? Who the hell is licking their mic?
Nah, because they hear me chewing for some reason. I don't know, man.
For some reason, why mute your mic?
You just gotta mute yourself in OBS.
Yeah, but it's like let me turn this shit down. Yeah, never mind. It's like it's super red. Hold on, super red. My bad.
OBS is gonna pick up audio different from Discord. We can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm tearing up this oatmeal raisin cookie. Like, hold on, bro.
You might have to.
That's a cookie that you eat?
No, first it was salad, right? And then it was a sandwich, and then
everything.
That fridge is down bad.
Oh man!
Bugging, bro.
And the crazy thing is, I have like a pop filter on this stupid mic.
A pop filter doesn't stop
It should stop
you having a high gain, bro. It doesn't stop you having a high gain. It's still gonna pick up.
And
you have to
make it smoother.
There's things that you can do to like filter out the audio, but that's like you have to enable plugins
Filters.
in the Wave
right.
software and shit.
Yeah. Oh my god. Compressor, or noise suppression, right?
Yeah, noise suppression,
We over here
and a
hating on
noise gate. You
Xbox
can have.
headsets, and we could hear all of his mic.
Yeah, he bugged with that shit. But
Y'all talked about
what
what's up with that new monitor? Is it good or not? I don't care. I don't game on monitors.
It's good. It's good for people who want to upgrade to it, who don't have great displays. For people like me and Smooth, there's no incentive to buy because we already have excellent displays. That's pretty much the way it is. On paper, it looks good. I'm pretty sure the reviews for the M9 and the M3 are going to be pretty good. So yeah, like I said before, the marketing and branding behind it's going to be very powerful because they're going to market it next to PlayStation devices, obviously. And yeah, they're not bad.
Well, we don't know anything about the 1080p one. At least I don't. I haven't seen a review on it. But the 4K one is the 4K one is pretty good for the price, honestly, because it's
like
the only
$900 or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be that decent,
low?
but it's no. That's not low, but I didn't expect it to be
I'm
that
just
decent.
saying for like Sony, like the TVs and stuff like that are usually like a little bit more expensive than the competition.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of where it fits in the market, it's definitely not bad because it's the cheapest display that has full array local dimming, like any zones besides just edge lit monitors. So it achieving that and it being under $1,000, that's well, currently that's a milestone. So that's good.
Yes.
Will it?
Chris, you should get it. Get that monitor, man.
But Chris, I got something for you.
Hold on. Like
It's PS5 monitor.
Will it stay that impressive within the next year versus the competition? I doubt it because I think the competition next year or two is going to get fucking crazy.
All right,
And
so
especially with QD OLED being a thing and like.
But they'll probably come out with another
IPS
model
black.
of it next year to keep up. I mean, that's what
Nah,
happens, right?
I don't think they're gonna do that because they put too much R&D into this early on.
Yeah, they put
Like,
some time and effort
for
into that shit.
For them to just say, "Oh, we're gonna drop a new model of this display next year," doesn't make sense. Like even LG didn't do that. LG kept the same model this year.
What I do find funny as shit though is the PS5 doesn't support 1440p and so doesn't Sony. Like the monitor division. What's 1440p? Like they don't know 1440p fucking exists, bro. Like that's funny as shit to me. Like really? Like I just thought about it. Like somebody tweeted about it. It's like, oh, Sony just doesn't see 1440p. Yep. it's like they're blind to it. It's like, what's that? I don't know what that is. But it's like literally it's either 4K or 1080. It's like what? Funny.
I got a question for the panel. So, do you think that this? I mean, this may even be a silly question, but do you think this whole monitor and headset thing is more or less more of the entryway into saying, hey, we're going more into PC.
Absolutely.
We're going to target some of these PC.
Well, they've been
because people are beating around the bush around. I mean, let's be real. People are beating around the bush.
I mean, it's obvious that they're going more into PC.
They've been very.
Hey, hold on. It's not even an obvious thing. They literally said that they are.
Yeah.
At this point, nobody should be surprised.
It's expanding their product lineup. These things are going to sell really, really fast. Like you have to have an entire brand of gaming products for people. This is a complete solution. You have the console with the PS5. You have PSVR 2 coming out soon. Monitor and headsets. It's the complete package. And people are like that. Like, oh, PlayStation monitor, PlayStation headset. Oh my God, all of it has to work great together. That's how the branding and marketing is going to be around this.
They're going to be like, oh, this is the best product you can buy for the PS5.
It's like on PC. It's like on PC. People used to be like, oh, I have to get an AMD CPU and an AMD GPU for it to work perfectly. Yeah, it's like that's not how that works. now there's features that are enabled if you have both of them together, but it doesn't equal more performance.
Yeah.
Right. No, but what I guess I'm saying is the way you look at the marketing for a lot of this stuff is it still markets PS5, PS5, PS5. They don't really put a whole lot of, I guess, emphasis on, hey, get this for your PC as well, and like get ready for this, onslaught of games or anything like that. It seems like they're just trying to kind of push the PS5.
No, I mean it's a literal monitor. Like they say PS5, and every time I've seen it said PS5 and PC. It's a literal monitor. So most people that game on console game on displays. So but it's obvious from it just being a monitor is obviously it's oriented more towards the PC gamer by default. But
most console gamers just use TVs.
But I do know people that don't, or I do know people that use monitors primarily. But yeah, it's mostly.
Yeah, no, there are people that use monitors.
Does anybody here use monitor to play their Xbox or PlayStation?
Move.
Yeah. I play everything on my monitor.
I'm more like when it comes to console gaming, I'm a bit more hybrid, but I mainly use my monitors for PC gaming.
I mean, monitors have their own benefits. Yeah, especially if you're taking low response time and everything like that. So.
Okay. Now, back on my rant. Just buy regular headphones, people.
Wow.
If y'all need recommendations, I got you, bro.
Them headphones look ugly. I didn't like those. The new Sony ones.
Yeah, I did not like them.
How headphones look plays no part in actual audio.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying. I don't like
from a design standpoint, it does not look good. If you look at like the SteelSeries Arctis Nova Pro, for example, those are a great looking pair of headphones with amazing features on it.
Honestly,
at least for a gaming headset.
In my opinion, most gaming headsets don't appeal to me.
I think visually, the new PS5 headsets. I don't like how the boom mic is on the edge of it. Like I like when the boom mics are on the kind of the interior. I think it's goofy when you have it on the edge like that. Kind of looks like a damn like an airplane headset.
It looks really, really weird. I don't know what they were thinking with it.
Looks like some shit you wear at a call center.
It's Sony. people are gonna be like, oh, PlayStation headset, I'm gonna buy it. They did the same shit with the Pulse 3D headset, and I was like, the Pulse 3D headset is bad. I did not like. I don't know. It was really, really bad. I seen multiple reviews over it.
I mean, it's a wireless headset for $100, so you can't expect too much.
Yeah,
like I just please people just the great thing about buying regular headphones and a standalone mic is, for a standalone mic, you always have good audio quality even if you switch out the headphones.
That's not. I got a question for you. I got a question for you.
And also,
can you guys hear me, or am I on mute?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Bless. I'm looking at like my and I'm only bringing this up because this game is going to be a topic of a discussion for a little bit. I'm looking at my GeForce Experience, and it's telling me the most optimal way to play Halo Infinite was with all the settings on low. Why?
No one looks at that shit.
Okay.
Or if they do, they're like extremely casual PC gamer that just don't care of actually just tuning settings to their heart's content.
It says
one of those situations where
it says
you put every.
Huh?
If you put I know there's some games, right? I forget which one. I don't know if it was like PUBG or maybe Armored War, where they prefer to play those games on everything on low setting because they can see the enemies better because it's less attention to details and stuff like that. Is that what they mean by that?
No,
it's competitive settings, but GeForce Experience it's supposed to be like, oh, these are the optimal settings, which is irrelevant. It's stupid.
Optimal settings is very subjective.
No, but the thing is,
exactly. It's very subjective. It's pointless. I turn that shit off.
Because the thing is, it says your system doesn't meet the minimum requirements for optimal settings in this game or application.
What? You have a 3070 Ti.
May deliver unplayable frame rate. Because the thing is, every other game that I click on, it says everything high, max, da 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 da. But when I get the Halo Infinite, everything is just like, what? Okay, that's.
Halo Infinite on PC is weird too. Like it's, I don't know how to describe that game on PC. Like it's functional, but it needs more work into it. And you have a 3070 Ti with a i7? No.
Yeah, i7 9700.
Keep your settings wherever you want.
Literally, just never use that. Turn that shit off where it optimizes your games automatically. Turn that shit off. Don't look at it ever. Don't look at it ever again. Don't worry about that shit, bro. Don't worry about it. That shit is pointless.
Speaking of Halo, and so like Halo's been in the news for a couple different things. We got Frank O'Connor, who's been like banned off Reset Era for racial and sexist comments or slurs or whatever. So that's been going on. It hasn't made heavy headline news. I've seen people tweet about it, so I'm a little bit surprised. I'm trying to figure out like what's going on with that. And 343 is opting to put microtransactions in, no, not Halo Infinite, but Master Chief Collection.
Clown world. 343 is just 343 is just a bunch of clowns, bro.
Yeah, they're just a mess, bro.
Nothing of good PR has came from that company or that dev in the last 6 months. Nothing of good fucking
last
PR.
6 months? How about since last year?
Yeah,
what do you mean?
Like 2 years. At least.
What do you mean? They delayed Halo Infinite and then like
as soon as they delayed the roadmap, it was over, bruh.
Yeah, they ramped up to the launch of Halo Infinite. They said that Forge and co-op wasn't gonna be there at launch. We're still waiting on both of those. Like, come on, man. And then they're dropping their next season in November, I believe. In between Modern Warfare 2 coming out, and what else is coming out during that time? I think like a DLC from Destiny. Obviously, there's gonna be like a season of Apex and shit. Like, you're cannibalizing your own game by not pumping out content fast enough.
Bro,
it's all life support.
Right now, there's gonna be a holiday update for Fortnite and shit as well too. So.
Yeah, like come on, you got all these other competitive shooters that are just like blowing you out the water, and you can't even keep up.
Like, not even like halfway keep up. Like, they're literally like they're so trash, bro. Like, 10-year game, bro. This is literally looking like 2042 in terms of like
ineptness
and how long it's gonna last, and that's not long. Like, if this game has 2,000 player base like consistently through the next year, I'd be surprised. On PC, if it has a 2,000 player base through the next year, I'd be completely surprised.
And we won't even know what Xbox is going to be because they don't show the numbers on Xbox.
Yeah, no.
I completely see it going under 2,000 people playing, concurrent players at one point. 1,000% see that coming. Like, it's at like 5K right now. And the new season like just started like half a month ago or a month ago.
Last month,
What the fuck?
Yeah, man.
No one cares about this fucking game, bro.
And it's sad to see, man, because the thing is, I feel like this Halo Infinite has some, like, for example, and I'm not one of these seasonal players that follow seasons and all this shit, and like in season passes, it's just never been my thing. So I just even when Call of Duty, like I play Call of Duty for holiday season, the multiplayer. I think Cold War is the last one I really did, and I didn't last all seasons or anything like that. Just like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? But the thing is that the core multiplayer of Halo Infinite, I think, is great. I still play Halo Infinite at least once a day. I play a couple games in between of like me trying to determine whatever I want to play. Like I don't play as much or as seriously as I did when it first came out and whatnot. Like I'm not playing to achieve anything. Right now I'm just casually playing. I'm not playing to achieve anything anymore, right? But between the campaign, which I thought was a great campaign, have fun, and which I feel like you're moving too slow on that to add more to that, because that's what I really want to dive more into is Halo Infinite's campaign, but there's nothing to go do now that, you know, I finished the game. The multiplayer thing, it sucks because it's like they have such a great core system there. And if they didn't go to the stupid ass seasonal free to play thing and they just launched it as a regular Halo game, I feel like, you know, they would have had, you know, the decent amount of like modes and maps and whatnot. And the fact that they went in this route where you need that content like almost immediately and you constantly have to be fed, and they're not moving as fast as they should be. And it's like I get gray hairs every time Halo Waypoint has a posting, because I was like, all right, what are you going to tell me you're not going to be able to do now? Because every time they post, it's telling me what they can't do or what they aren't able to do right now. And it's like
that engine is just the way they designed it is trash. It's just, it takes way too long to make minuscule changes, period. Like large changes takes a significant amount of time, but like even the smallest changes, like, oh, can you like reduce the amount of ammo in this weapon, or like slightly change its recoil or something? Oh, maybe 2 or 3 months later. Like it'll be 2 or 3 month type patch. It's like, bro, that shouldn't like Siege could do that in a fucking night.
What's the melee issue that game's having? Like the melee,
it's having desync. But the thing is, like, I don't even know. Like they're talking specifically about the melee desync, but I don't know if they fixed the regular desync of just shooting people. It's a bunch of desync of just shooting people, and I've never seen that get fixed. So it's like they're talking about melee, but it's like the entire game has desync. Like,
yeah, I don't foresee myself getting back to that game anytime soon.
I mean, like I said, I like to play, but it just sucks to know, because I'm not playing it to the point where I'm actually trying to achieve anything. I care less what my next rank is. After I got through the season and maxed out the season and resetted my rank for season 2, I'm not actively trying to participate in season 2. Mostly because I'm not a fan of the additions. I like one of the most, but I'm not a fan of it to the point where, hey, I'm gonna play this for the next 6 months.
Smooth, I have a question for you, right? Like you just said you don't like the season pass model, right? And that's something I addressed before the game came out, was that they didn't have a global ranking system like how you had in like Halo Reach, Halo 5. Like you had actual levels to rank up and grind for, and then there was unlocks tied to those ranks that you were going for. There's nothing like that in this game. There's no level 50. There's no noble or inheritor rank like in Halo Reach. Nothing like that. No ranking. Like you have your rank system, like your rank playlist, like, oh, you can go gold, platinum, diamond, and stuff like that. Yeah. But there's no global level up, ranking up system just from your casual playlist. That's the issue with this game. There's nothing that's like, oh, I have to play this.
You don't even get. There's not even like. You don't even get. It's not even performance based, like, experience. Like. They still haven't done that. Like, if I play too many matches in a day, I can have a 30 bomb and no deaths and still get 50 experience. Like the fuck?
Yeah.
Why am I playing this?
It's really, really sad to see, because I feel like I said, they have, like, the game is full of potential and these guys just don't know what to do with it. I feel like 343, and I hate to say this, and I know, like, people say it all the time, they need a change. Who's the woman ahead? What's her name? Freaking Bonnie Ross.
Bonnie Ross.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh man, you may not like me saying this, but they got to stop freaking quota hiring. I feel like people just have positions for quotas, man. And
the liberals.
Oh, tell me.
not just
tell
like
me how I know
the situation, because nobody. You think about it, it's like, all right, a lot of these people have been there for like a long time. They're nice people. but they don't get the job done.
You know what I mean? Yeah, they need to get. I think they need to get rid of a few
management sucks, little bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I mean, like for example, at my job, I got one of my jobs, I had like a bunch of security guards. They were nice, very nice, but that was the fucking problem. They were too nice, so people would just run all over them. So it's like these guys, like for some reason, like I love what Phil Spencer done with Xbox. I think he's a great guy, a lot of charisma and stuff like that. But when it comes to like these two, especially like a 343, somebody like 343 should be like the golden ticket. Like they like, you know, they set the standard, and I feel like 343 has been lapped by other Xbox studios who don't get, you know, even half like the budget that they do. And I just feel like it's really more so of a thing where like people are in positions because for the sake of being diverse and hitting quotas and stuff like that and being fucking nice, and these dudes have not been able to produce anything, to put out anything. I kind of just want them, and I hate to say this, I had a great, for my selfish ass reasons, I had a great time with the Halo Infinite campaign, thought it was great, and I had a great time for the multiplayer when I did play it. I want them to just leave the game alone. Like, you know, leave the game alone, fuck it. Go break up into multiple different teams and make a different fucking game that has nothing to do with Halo. Make something else. Make like fucking.
So you want them to get off of Halo?
Just get off the fucking game, because at the end of the point,
said they should have did this.
Like,
I said they should have done it.
Just give it a break, because that's the worst thing that can happen, bro. Yeah. Like for example, man, it's like nobody wants to see Michael Jordan, you know, sign up and play with the Lakers. You think he's going to be good right now? At however old, 60 years old, he's not going to be that good. So it's like you don't want to see him. Like you don't want to see him. You only want to see him when he's good. And I feel like Halo, like it was good. I understand it was great, but the thing is, they clearly don't know how to bring Halo into the next decade. If it's getting his ass beat by twerking anime and fucking like pixels, like Minecraft pixels and stuff like that, I just feel
Minecraft, Fortnite, like it's getting lapped by other shooters. Yeah, and then there's like look at something like
even Elden Ring.
Ready or Not, for example, right? Yeah. Independently developed like shooter.
Ready or Not
games like World War III and stuff like that. Like these games are pushing the thread, and they're doing great things from such a small studio and such a small budget. You want to imagine those teams had a bigger budget.
And Ready or Not's putting in more content than the fucking 343.
That's what I'm saying.
I just had a content.
Splitgate has Forge.
There was an update for Ready or Not yesterday that was like 11 gig patch.
Yeah,
the game is like 50 gigs now, and it's like they added like multiple levels. They fixed they improved AI. The AI is apparently OD in the game. Like, it's an indie game putting out more content than fucking 343. Y'all got 500 devs. What the fuck y'all doing?
This is you want to hear something crazy?
They're moving them around, man. That's the issue. Like no one.
You can't sustain leadership.
Like by the time something happens, I mean, you see that with the Melee thing right now. Like the devs that worked on that are no longer working in that area anymore, and it's just like, why? Why did you move them around? Like, why wouldn't you want to retain the people that understand that part of the game? Like, to me, that's the most frustrating part of this whole like situation. It's just like the way that they're managing their own employees is just like if it feels like you see something awful every 3 months about management there, and it's just it's really annoying. And it's bad because it's such a good game. It's a really good and fun game. Mm-hmm. The mechanics are fantastic, but it's just like, man, I understand you took that extra year to like make things, you know, right for the consumer and whatnot. But at the same time, it feels like, I don't know, maybe the people above at Microsoft were like, yo, you got to get this game out and get it figured out. But you know, they thought they were getting, you know, we thought we were getting a 5-course meal, and we ended up, you know, getting a really good appetizer and then forgotten about.
Yeah. You know what's funny and it's crazy, and this is why I get like the wrong I guess expectation or impressions of what game development is like. because you think about the size and how much people is working on this game and many different studios that they hire out, like certain Affinity and stuff. I remember Cliff Belinsky and his boss Key Studio, right? They made the game Lawbreakers, right?
Yep.
The game
That
flopped. It failed, right? 2 weeks after they pretty much determined, like the publisher said, all right, we can't do nothing with this game. Cliff Belinsky and his little team in 2 weeks made a battle royale game to try to jump on the PUBG craze, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, it wasn't. I didn't care that that flopped too. But
it was a very poorly made battle
But the
royale.
problem
it wasn't like basically it was like an alpha though.
Yeah, but
it was an alpha.
The principle is they turned around a game that quickly.
Yeah.
I'm like, how
they
the
did.
hell?
Yeah, but it was
Hey,
bare
hey,
bones and shitty.
But
Bare bones
you know,
and
But-
mind you,
but it was
where are they at
excusable
now?
because-
That studio
because-
don't
Yeah, they
exist.
made a tower
But it was
defense
excusable
game.
because they did that in like a few weeks.
Yeah,
built that in like
yeah, they did it in a few
Like
weeks. It
that.
was an alpha game in a few weeks, and then you know
How
the
long
funniest-
has Infinite been in development for? Since what, 20?
Said like 16.
Bro, that we talking about
16 years,
Epic,
6
man.
years, 7 years.
Epic is huge.
That was an
bro.
epic.
That wasn't Epic.
That
was his own- that was his own studio.
He's a indie team. But
It
you know,
it was Cliffy B and like 3 other people.
you know the funniest part about that though, like that battle royale failed, but some of those ideas got implemented in Fortnite. Like literally, they implemented some of like the gold and like the buying mechanics of that RP or of that battle royale. They put it in Fortnite. So it's like, and then people started like, "Oh, this is a great idea." It's like, nah, they stole that shit. And Cliff Blazenti, that's the thing. Like Cliff would literally in an indie team making his game fucked up, and he immediately had an idea. He already had a plan, a backup plan. It's like no one at Microsoft has that type of
mentality.
no one has that type of creativity in that drive. They don't like. There's no one. There's no. There's no like Evan Wells. There's no Cliff Bleszinski. There's no Kojima. There's no Miyazaki. There's no one like that at Xbox that like, oh, I have an idea. I have a vision. Let's fucking create a team and implement my vision in the way I see it. Like the mismanagement, they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
The problem is Xbox has more activists at their studios instead of developers.
Oh shit!
That's the truth. That's all I see on Twitter is them fucking like.
Yeah, they have
you know
their
what I
own
mean? It's like, man, I don't
dinners.
give a
Their
fuck
own
about that
buddy.
shit, man. Make
have their
games.
dinners.
Apparently, they got a bunch of ratings in there too.
Yeah, Joseph Staten. No, what's the dude that made Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order? Guy's name. That guy. He worked on God of War.
Zampella.
Oh, that guy, and there was another person that also helped. That used to work on God of War. Like they don't have that type of talent where they have a vision. Like,
well, you also have people that are walking on eggshells there, and they're not willing to go inside the studio and say, hey, this is some bullshit. You guys better get your shit together or else heads are gonna roll. You don't have that threat of like, yo, you have to make this game happen. And I understand that, oh, you can't have a toxic work culture, but you have to meet deadlines. You know, this is millions, if not billions of dollars on the line of revenue and player retention.
You know who I blame?
It's
a
business.
You know
it's
who
a
I blame?
business. This is not play time. This is a business where you're supposed to produce, create.
I blame fucking what's his name? What's that dude? He looks like that fucking what's that damn writer or that journalist, that investigative cop journalist dude?
Jason Schreier.
I blame his ass. You know why? Because ever since he came onto the scene, all these developers start snitching to him. They making me work overtime. You know what I mean? So all these freaking teams gotta, oh well, we can't make them work too hard. Can't crunch.
You know who it is? Because I remember the two people that left Ben Studios, right? The Days Gone guys, right? I forgot. I think it was like Jeff Ross and the other guy. I remember one of them saying was like, yeah, it's like once they started getting like an influx of like younger folks and like millennials and stuff like that, like they just start complaining about everything or the hours and all that shit. So
like,
yeah,
even if you take crunch off the board, because like crunch is not the defining factor as to why a game is good or not. It's literally vision and management and fucking talent. Like you look at You look at Super Giant Games.
Mhm.
That's an indie studio. What have they made? All of their games are bangers. Bastion, Transistor, Hades.
Yeah.
Fucking what's the other game? The Pyre. Like literally every one of their games is a banger with amazing music, amazing gameplay direction, and they're all different. It's like, why can't Xbox do that? It's not because of crunch, because that team, they don't even work a full 5 days a week. They work 4 days. They work 4 days. And they leave at like 5 or 6 o'clock. They're gone. They're out the door.
And they don't have like 900 employees either.
So what does Riot Games work? Do they work 5 days a week or do they work 4? Like, we don't know this. Like, what are you talking about?
What do you mean? There was a report that came out. What are you talking about?
So
they definitely don't work weekends. They literally have a I don't know, like a company, like I don't know what you call it, regimen or whatever the fuck.
A policy,
they have a company, a company policy where you are not allowed to work past 5 o'clock. Like they're literally like telling you leave the fucking building. Like
okay, and you got this from what?
A literal article.
Oh, an article. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
when the article came out, yeah.
Like, nah.
The head studio is my uncle. That's how.
Exactly. Like I'll pull up the article if you don't fucking believe me. But literally, I got
a brother sister cousin that work at the studio, man. Don't question me.
Right, your brother, sister, baby father.
Yeah.
And there's other companies that produce great games that don't crunch. Like literally, Insomniac said they don't crunch.
Yeah,
Insomniac doesn't crunch, and there's other companies that have said that they don't crunch, and they still put out.
But that's not what PlayStation guys say. That's not
I
what
feel like it's a little ignorant. I feel like it's a little ignorant to say the entire squad for Xbox has no vision or nobody has.
It's not the squad.
I feel like that's a little different because we were talking about 343, which I agree with a lot of that stuff. But when we start to talk about the entire company, I'm there
are very few that have vision.
What are you talking about? Now there's a very few compared to none just a moment ago. That's what I'm saying. Is like this is all speculation. In reality, but let me finish. Okay. But it does have a lot to do with the history of what Xbox kind of created for themselves.
So it's not speculation. That you just contradicted your statement.
No, I didn't.
If we're not counting like purchased companies within the last say 3 or 4 years, like all those studios that were previously at Microsoft, their vision, like what are we gonna count?
We can't say on one hand.
What are we gonna count?
Are we gonna say the same thing about PlayStation with Returnal and everything? Like, come on now. Like, let's not talk about like when they
Sony
purchase
had
it, it's
talent
theirs.
before that. They had vision before that. That's the thing.
Like they got purchased. They were good already. Like. So what's the difference between Insomniac getting purchased and making a dope ass Spider-Man game?
Insomniac literally
time out. Like you ain't letting me finish a damn thing before you finish jump back on me. So what's the difference between an Insomniac coming over to PlayStation making a banger game and Bethesda coming over and making a banger game? I mean, where's the difference in that? Are you going to say, they had more ties with PlayStation back in Xbox did with Bethesda as well with Skyrim. They had much more mods available on the Xbox. I mean, what are we talking about right now?
That's completely different in terms of I'll explain for you. Like literally, that's completely different in terms of companies working with each other. Like they co-opt with what? Microsoft and Bethesda co-op with what? 1 or 2 Elder Scrolls games? And you're talking about mods. Mods only came out recently, and that's minuscule. They co-op with mods. That's nothing to do with the actual development of game.
No,
Insomniac has literally franchises that are only on PlayStation.
Glass, you're coming at this with the wrong angle.
Literally, they have in franchises. Let me address
this. Let me address this.
Okay. Oh my god.
The difference between Microsoft acquiring Bethesda or any other studio versus Sony acquiring Insomniac is that we know that Sony has an established portfolio of great games that have really solid development cycles. They sell well, they review well. There's a certain type of acclaim that they have with their games. They continue that culture when they acquire a studio. Microsoft hasn't been able to continue that culture. We're still here waiting for all these different games like Hellblade. A lot of us were very, well, some of us, I won't say a lot of us, but some of us, we talked about this 2 weeks ago, were very disappointed with the reveal of Starfield. That's subjective. In my opinion, I didn't think it looked the greatest. We're talking about 343. They went from Bungie to 343 for Halo. They're not continuing the greatness of Halo. That's the difference between a Microsoft and a Sony. One company can acquire a studio and continue to make it great and increase the valuation of the one company, right? Another one acquires studios and other companies.
We get Pentiment.
And they're not pushing it forward. They're not pushing it forward.
It's not even just that though. It's like Insomniac. If you look at most of Insomniac's portfolio, most of it is fucking Sony games. Literally, most of it is Sony. It's Sony second party IPs. Literally only on the PlayStation. Like,
no, Ratchet and
Bethesda.
First party IPs. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. If it was
Insomniac, if they own a second party studio, yeah,
but like literally, like that's not a comparison. Bethesda is not that comparable to Xbox, my guy. Like literally, most of Insomniac's portfolio of games that they have created is only on the PlayStation. Like literally, that's not the same for Bethesda. Like that, not even in the slightest. They have like maybe two. They have maybe two fucking exclusives like on upon release, but that's not even the same now.
It was Morrowind. It was Morrowind, but the main reason why Morrowind was exclusive it was because the Xbox hardware was a lot more powerful than the PS2, and it couldn't run on the PS2. And then Oblivion, it was a timed exclusive.
It was a timed exclusive, so it's not even close to the same type of. It's not even close to the same type of thing. Like what? What are you talking about? And plus, it's like the games that Insomniac has not made under PlayStation have typically been garbage. That is.
I don't know any other game outside of Sunset Overdrive was garbage.
But it was Fuse.
If you look at the games that Insomniac has made from 2013 to the end of last generation, they do have a good amount of games that's not under Sony, and those games are fucking garbage. For the most part, those games are garbage. Because of Sony's management and the help of their combined effort, they make good products. Like literally, you go back to PS2, Ratchet and Clank always been a banger. Resistance always been a banger. Like Spider-Man, like the new stuff, like everything that they have created with Sony has been content. It has been good. You can't say that about anything with Xbox, bro. You can't say that. You can't say that about anything.
Yeah, it's also some of the optics as well for what Bless Red saying. I think they are going to create some really good games because of some of the studios that they happen to buy are very talented, like an Obsidian. And even though I don't like the studio at all, I would even throw in Ninja Theory in there as well. But when they acquired them, right? Because for example, like they acquired Insomniac, PlayStation acquired Insomniac, and then the next game they came out with was Ratchet and Clank and Miles Morales and stuff like that. But then when they acquired Obsidian, the next game they came out with was Grounded, right? Which is like an early access game, and then Ninja Theory was Bleeding Edge, and that game was completely like dead and stuff like that. So it's like that's why people are looking at it as like, even though I wouldn't, that probably is not an attribute to like Microsoft or whatever. I don't know, because I think they were already working on Smooth, right? They were already working on those games prior to Microsoft.
Yeah, the reason why Bleeding Edge came out is because Ninja Theory couldn't get finding a publisher for it. So when Microsoft acquired them, they agreed to release that game.
Right, exactly.
They could have kept that game cooking for longer. Yeah, they could have definitely kept that game cooking for longer.
I know, maybe, but I'm just saying, like optically, that's how people see it, and then that's why people is like, they think that is something fundamentally wrong with all of Microsoft and not just one or two studios.
I hear you. So let me respond to Blessed real quick. So my whole bottom line to this, the whole reason I call ignorance at all is because we've seen a lot of things, get purchased and be working on by Xbox, but we haven't seen a lot of the fruits of that labor yet. So to say right now where we stand, that they have no creativity across the board and whatnot, I think is extremely ignorant because we haven't seen a ton of things that we've been waiting.
I don't think ignorant is really the right word for that because like you said, like we have yet to see. So you can't really say they can't say that because they have yet to see it as well. So you can look at it both ways. You can look at it optimistically or pessimistically, and either one can be correct or not correct. I think you're using the wrong one when you use ignorance in that matter. I understand what you're saying. It's like, well, we don't know. Like I said, I do think they're gonna produce good shit. Like I do think like shit like Avowed is gonna be really good. Hellblade is probably gonna be a lot better than the first game for those people that like them shits. And we'll see what the other people are gonna do and stuff like that. But it's like we're still on the waiting in the unknown. That's the big issue right now. Is that we're still in the waiting phase and we still have to wait for the and they have done some, like obviously Forza, right? Turn 10 and Playground Studios, they're top tier studios in terms of racing games and stuff like that. But it's like all the other games, all the other genres, Xbox really hasn't put anything out that super, like, for example, like Sony does a lot of action adventure games and stuff like that. They exceed at those games, right? They exceed in those genre or whatever. Xbox have multiple genres, but they don't exceed at any of those genres except for like the driving games.
Jack provides a fantastic question, but before I go to that question, it's like the way I look at things is last time we talked Solo, we were talking about Starfield and how that's gonna pan out. Like the way I think about things, I look at past. I look at the past. I look at previous like events that happened in the past and previous patterns. I look at patterns that previously happened in the past, and I use that to assume the future. Basically, it's like if you look at history, like history repeats itself a lot. People just don't realize it. Like, a lot of shit just keeps happening, and until people actually realize it and try to actually change is not going to actually come. So it's like I look at what Xbox has done, especially in like the last few years, and it goes to what Jack said. It's like which developer actually has improved under Microsoft's leadership as of at this point. Like,
can I say something to that?
Jack Move just asked like an Emmanuel Acho question, bro. He really applied that. What? yeah, you know what he did. I know what he did.
Crazy.
Like, because it goes back to my previous thing. It's like Insomniac's games without Insomniac without Sony is not the same Insomniac. Period.
It's literally.
It's
literally the same Insomniac.
It's not the same Insomniac. Look at those. Look at the games that they released that were not under Sony, and then look at the game that they released under Sony. They are not comparable. They are not comparable.
Yeah, they are.
You can in quality. Quality, no, they are not. No, they are not.
You were playing Fuse, bro.
You're playing Fuse.
Yes,
you're playing.
I liked it.
What's that song called? Songs of the Deep.
Hold on. Let me ask y'all a question.
Go ahead.
Is Spider-Man did they birth that franchise? Yes or no? Just a yes or no question.
This version of Spider-Man, yes.
No, I said, did they birth?
They didn't birth the IP, of course. They didn't birth the IP.
So
oh my God.
But that doesn't matter, Nick.
No, let me finish.
There's been multiple Spider-Man games.
I'm going somewhere with it.
That weren't as good or as successful.
Go ahead.
No, I'll let Chris say that because but what I want to go. I just want to say, right? Everything else they made was mid. Like let's just be honest, bro.
Everything else that Insomniac has made is mid.
In my opinion,
if you think about it, their best-selling game is Spider-Man. Right, like
it just so happened to be Spider-Man. Yeah. Like Sunset Overdrive scored an 80. Hold on, Sunset Overdrive scored an 80 on Metacritic? 82, 83. Like, let's go. Like they all their games is around that range, bro. Like it didn't go nowhere. Like it's Spider-Man. Okay, like let's go here. Spider-Man is well loved all around the board. So we can't use that, bro. Like that's a boost at this point. So
hold on. Astronomical.
All the other Spider-Man games weren't
the games under Activision did not sell the same as that game.
You keep saying sell. They about to sell some.
And also, they were
hold on, Bless Red. Hold on. To that point, they about to sell monitors that ain't better than monitors that's not about to sell.
That's irrelevant to my point. Let me go.
No, all you got to do is put a Sony brand on it, and it'll sell. They just buy any fucking thing.
Okay, Nick, hold on, Nick. Literally, the quality of the Activision games of people, Spider-Man is literally the most popular superhero on the planet Earth. Okay. If people were that interested in Spider-Man, they would have bought those Activision games regardless, but they didn't. Those games were not, and it's not even just because they didn't listen to me. It's not even just like the game it just randomly didn't sell well. Those games were not quality. Those games just were not quality. They made some good games, but those games were not quality. Like literally, and it's like you were speaking like all of their games are the same, my guy. Were you?
I'm not saying Spider-Man was bad, bro. I'm not saying it was bad.
Who in here has heard of?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Who in here has heard of The Unspoken? Who in here has heard of Song of the Deep? Who in here has played Edge of Nowhere? These games.
Edge of Nowhere was fire, bro.
Yeah, we played that.
These games are fucking vaporware. Who played Feral Rights? Who played Fuse?
Bangers.
These games,
no
one knows that these games exist because they were not.
These are bangers.
Hold on.
Let me finish my point. Literally, these games that were not handled under Sony were not received as well by the community of gamers or critics. Now, that's why it goes to the point. That's why it goes to the point that Jack brought up. It's like what company that Microsoft has acquired has actually leveled up in terms of quality that they produce. Insomniac has literally
turn 10.
Insomniac has
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like he's just ignoring everything that Xbox has ever done in the past just to focus on Halo and say, yo, Halo is bad, so Xbox is bad. And that's all I'm hearing from you right
Halo.
now, bro.
I'm only looking at Halo. Bleeding Edge.
I mean, that's what they started out with.
Bleeding Edge didn't exist.
I mean, there's been...
Hey, listen, bro.
I would take down didn't exist.
Y'all getting that Microsoft killed one of the best studios in the 90s.
What was the other game?
After they
you don't even think they the best studio.
What was that game that no one wanted to beat?
After they got acquired, right? That was Rare, whatever.
I would say play Halo. And
what was the game that no one wanted to beat that Smooth finally beat? Recore? Recore. Yeah, that's a great game. Yeah,
Smooth. We need to purge
under Microsoft's management, bro. Like, yeah. Right. I'm only focusing on Halo. Yeah. You got it.
Hey, what the fuck? Crossfire X was fire.
I'm looking at the history of their games, bro. I'm not just looking at one game. I'm looking at a fucking pattern.
No, what I'm
looking at a pattern.
No, okay. You
Crossfire X wasn't published by Xbox, bro.
All right, so you only good as your last game, Bless Red. Bless Red. Let me ask you a question. Did you like Sunset Overdrive?
I thought it was actually a good game. I don't think it's better. I don't think it's better than Spider-Man. Definitely.
Of course.
How many games are better than Spider-Man, though, bro?
Like, who would think that? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, these dudes is, they crazy, bro. They didn't even.
I don't think it's majority of these. I don't think it's better than the old. I don't think it's better than.
Hold on, I just looked it up. Crossfire X. One of the publishers is Xbox Game Studios.
Yo, listen. Let me just say this to Bless Red with this Sunset Overdrive. If half these Insomniac fans would have bought Sunset Overdrive and not worried about what platform it was on, it would have did good. But no, because it wasn't on PlayStation, it didn't. And that's
only because it wasn't on PlayStation that it wasn't well received like that. Didn't sell well.
Yes, they didn't buy it, bro. Like, it only sold like in the first week. It sold like what, 500 or the first month or something like that. 200 or something like that.
200K.
Yeah, 200K.
Yeah, 200K.
Damn, that's
something like that.
That's crazy.
Yo, and that's bad
I'll be
because
breaking records in the UK, by the way.
right, all these so-called Insomniac fans, and
Game Pass.
That's
they
literally
ain't feeling back then.
If Game Pass existed back then,
when they had that Sony brand on it.
Yeah, of course.
Just like all these Final Fantasy games will have a PlayStation, right?
Nick,
I mean, I'm gonna run with it, and you explain.
That's your point. I mean, these other games that I was naming, they were like,
yeah, but
they were multiplat, my boy. Why didn't they sell as much as
whatever, bro?
I mean, why no one bought Song of the Deep, bro? Why no one bought Song of the Deep? Why no one bought Fuse? I'm just trying to see what's up.
Game they made.
Why no one bought Edge of Nowhere, bro? I'm just saying.
Said Fuse.
I'm like, I'm just saying.
Well, Fuse was on the 360 where there was so many games to buy on that motherfucker. Like,
he said, we're not talking about.
We're talking about the Xbox One.
Man, that's an excuse, bro. Like Ratchet, like crazy, no one bought Stormland, bro. No one knows what the fuck that is.
Well,
literally, the most of the franchises.
Overdrive is what I'm saying.
Hey, Nick, Nick, I've been telling you, man. You be lying to the people, bro. You gotta stop it.
All of the franchises that I can see that are under, all of the franchises that are under. That was helped and managed and is owned by Sony from Insomniac has literally been a good franchise.
Really?
Yeah,
Ratchet and Clank, Spyro, Resistance, Spider-Man.
You said Spyro?
But Ratchet and Clank ain't get over the hump.
Insomniac made Spyro?
Yeah,
Ratchet and Clank is fire.
That wasn't
that shit mid, bro.
That shit cool. Sony have been legends, man. They've been PlayStation.
They've been doing it. They made Spyro.
It took them this long to buy them.
Game, man.
You said it's mid. Watch her hop in PS Plus, and you're gonna be the first person on that game.
Nah, I don't. I had the 2018 version, I think.
Ratchet. No, I'm talking about Rift Apart. Rift Apart.
Man,
Rift Apart is mid, bro. Like,
Apart
is mid. The only thing that's good about Rift Apart is the graphics are great. Like, you know what I mean? If we're talking graphics, I'm not going to argue with you. But as far as the actual game,
that's a good game.
It's not nowhere near my favorite Ratchet and Clank game. It's like
What's your favorite Ratchet and Clank? There's only one best Ratchet and Clank game.
My favorite is Going Commando, and then what's the follow up where he got a little.
No, that's not the best one.
No,
I mean, his opinion.
My personal opinion is Going Commando, and I like the one they redid in 2016 because it went back to the earlier games and whatnot. But I think every one that they dropped on the PS2 were just like top tier. Every Ratchet and Clank that released on the PS2 era were top tier Ratchet and Clanks, like 10 out of 10.
Cracking time. That's to me. In my opinion,
which one? Hold on. Which one? Going Commando's what?
That's the PS2 one. That's the one on PS2. Cracking Time was on because there was like 3 games on PS3. If I'm not, the last one that came out on PS3, I think it was called like it wasn't Rift Apart. It was like, damn, I forgot what the fuck.
But that one was like tall and slinky. He was like,
it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. But Cracking Time is when they fucking, it kind of had like the Mario Galaxy levels where you're going around the planets and shit like that.
97 on medical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's the best one.
It's a common like that's the thing. Like Sony literally, well, for the most part, recently they've been purchasing more studios that they haven't been working as much with. But like typically, Sony will work with these studios and bring them up. And that's not something that Microsoft has done, and they're not good at doing that.
Well, I can't say that yet. Really can't say that yet.
I mean, we can.
No, you can't because the studios. All right, if you look at it, right, you're pretty much saying the reason why you can't say that yet is because for every one that you don't think is great, I could pull up a great story. The Coalition. Who's done wonders for Gears and other studios. They literally lead in Unreal Engine development. And
that team. What about it? Gears 4 and 5 are not better than 1 through 3. I'm playing 1 through 3 right now. I told you I'm playing 1 through 3. Those 4 and 5 story are definitely not better. 100% not better.
Nostalgia's a motherfucker. But
I'm playing those games now, nigga. What are you talking about?
Why are you playing them now?
I am playing them now.
I mean, I don't count him playing them because he's stealing them. He ain't playing them. He ain't naturally playing them.
He's playing them now regardless.
I agree with you. I
mean, literally, like Coalition hasn't.
Coalition, they didn't. I really don't think they hurt Gears. And the thing is like I feel like they've done.
They haven't helped it. They haven't. Oh my god. They haven't made it a better franchise. Microsoft nurtured the studio and they haven't made it a better franchise. Like they've done like in terms of franchises right now, Gears is definitely in a better spot than Halo is because Halo is fucked right now. And 343 is a nurtured studio.
But
343 is a nurtured studio.
All right, what about Playground? That's pretty much nurtured. They only work exclusively with Xbox even since they were purchased.
Playground is they're doing a good job. They're great.
And despite what you're saying,
that's the best studio that y'all have.
And despite what you may think, Rare is actually in good shape.
Rare's in good shape?
Yeah, I know.
Rare is in good shape. Where's Everwild?
Where's Everwild?
Where's Everwild?
Look at they literally have a success story.
Where is Everwild?
That
shit is on them.
Hold on, smooth. Hold on.
Shit is on milk cartons near you, bro. Like that shit don't exist.
They turn Sea of Thieves around, right? Okay, that's cool. But other than that, what else did they do for the past 20 years?
What did they do?
They
literally Connect games.
Yeah, which carried the second half of the 360 decade.
Listen. Let me say this.
Rare carried the second half of the 360 decade with what? Connect games? Rare wasn't doing shit. Rare wasn't doing shit until Sea of Thieves.
If you want to say Coalition, you got it. I'm not going to debate with you on Coalition, but to bring up Rare, that's not a reach.
That's not a reach. One of the most most successful live games right now. How is it
Smooth,
my God. Okay, never mind.
Smooth,
all right, next subject, please.
You literally just said that they were doing good since the 360. They were making Connect games, my dude.
I wanted to talk about
Microsoft wasn't doing shit with them.
I was an avid Connect player.
The only Gears.
Oh, okay.
I got old videos in 2009 on the channel from Connect.
I played the original trilogy, right? The Gear, and I even played what was it called? Judgment, right? Mm-hmm. Which that one was made by people can fly.
It was the worst one.
Yeah. But I played the original trilogy, right? And those are that's like my favorite Xbox 360 exclusive series at the time. You know, I think 3 had the best multiplayer, but 2 had the best campaign.
Gears 2 campaign.
So I don't know what the state of the Coalition versions of Gears is, but I mean, obviously, like Smooth said, they haven't really fucked the franchise up, but they haven't really done anything to elevate it forward. And in my opinion, I think Coalition and 343 at this point in time is just time for them to just move on and do their own unique thing. I think they have a better chance with their own original IP than continuing some of these IPs.
I think that's a fair assessment right there. I feel like that is 100% fair because it's just like, and I mean, I honestly feel the same way with Insomniac and Ratchet and Clank, to be honest. I mean, you're just picking up where somebody else kind of left off. And if you made something completely new and on your own, I think it'd be more well received.
Yep.
And just more fun on the whole innovating and seeing something new aspect than getting the same kind of game. Because I mean, like Ratchet and Clank 2016 to me was better than Rift Apart. Rift Apart just looked better, and it was really fun in photo mode. Wow. But as for the story, I thought it was okay. And in Rivet, I was extremely disappointed with Rivet because there was no difference.
Their gameplay,
than Ratchet. But hold on, real quick. But the opposing evildoer is somehow hella ham, hella crazy, hella dope. But you got Rivet, and she's just not that dope. And to me, it was just like, man, you had the opportunity to introduce a new character and have them be like just wild. But instead, it was just copy and paste.
What I said, but no, but that's your own personal opinion. But when we look at the actual like the critical reception and sales wise, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is the highest selling Ratchet and Clank, the fastest selling Ratchet and Clank.
and there's a higher and Metacritic score.
It was definitely it was the fastest selling. It sold literally double. It sold literally double what 2016 sold, and that was the fastest selling when it came out.
So, but y'all just said it wasn't the best one. Y'all just said it wasn't the best one. That's my point.
No, but
let's get moving. Let's do something else.
That doesn't matter. But they elevated the series though. That's what I'm trying to say. They elevate whether you personally think so or not. It doesn't. At that point, it doesn't really matter because, like he said, like 2016, which was the $40 one, which was on a much bigger install base, right? It broke the franchise record at that time, and then Rift Apart did that even more. Was way less.
Wait, so that means these games haven't been selling much of anything then.
And I mean, they sell well enough. They weren't 10 million sellers.
They sell well over time. But they don't sell quickly. Ratchet and Clank don't sell quickly.
It was never a 10 million. It was never a 10 million. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They sell like 3, 5, 6.
Y'all need to stop assuming the hype of Twitter means that it was a 20 million seller. The entire time it was alive. No, of course people are gonna hype it and shit like that. But Ratchet and Clank has never been like a 10 million seller type of franchise or whatever. So what Rift Apart did more than the rest of the series did at a much higher price point and a lower install base. So the series actually got bigger now with Rift Apart. I don't know if we could say the same with Gears. I mean, the Gears get bigger. Did they get higher Metacritic scores than the previous ones? Like I'm not sure.
Well, technically, Ratchet and Clank got lower Metacritic scores than the previous ones. So
No, 2016 was like an 80. What? It was like an 80.
Yeah, but the games on PS2 historically did all like 90s.
No, there was only no, hell no. There was only one that was a 90. The rest have been in the mid 80s and lower 80s and sometimes high 80s. So Rift Apart did I think that's what's in the top 3 or top 4 of the entire Ratchet and Clank series. When I think there's like 10 or 15 of them total.
I just got to get my opinion on Gears 5. What Coalition is doing with the story. Gears 4, I thought the story was okay. Gears 5, I don't like that story. I don't like that story.
Actually,
me personally, I don't like that story. I know people that do like it, and I know some people that don't like it.
You're playing the Gears trilogy for the first time?
Yeah.
Oh, well, see, all right. I can't just really take your shit. Like, all right. So
I don't have a nostalgic opinion. Though. I don't have a nostalgic. I'm playing this new, and I'm comparing it to what I previously played. Like I played 4 and 5 more like a couple years ago.
I feel like 4 was the weakest, as far as of all of them together. Now I appreciate the changes made in 5 because everybody wants to complain about Halo getting Forza, Gears doesn't change, and that had like the most changes ever, and nobody could appreciate all the changes made to the game to make the game feel different. So like you would not hear Gears 5 would get no slander for me. I thought it was an awesome campaign. I like how they brought in and opened the game up. But
talk about High Busters, bro.
I think the
High Busters was the best part of that game.
High Busters
100%.
Yeah, High Busters
100%. Cool. The Gears 5, the regular campaign, I thought was between. I just call it good. I wouldn't.
No, speak your mind, man. Speak your mind. Tell the truth.
That ending is bullshit.
No, I'd call it good. I wouldn't say it's like excellent or it's like. To me, it wasn't mid. I thought it was a pretty good story.
It's okay.
I mean, you're really trying to put words in my mouth, but no.
No, I'm saying it's okay. It's an okay game.
Like I said, I think it's good. But Hive Busters, on the other hand, just that whole piece of that DLC was just absolutely breathtaking to me personally. I thought it was.
Yeah, honestly, dope. I probably put Hive Busters over regular Gears 5 too. Like Gears 5, like the Act 2 was nice, breathtaking. Act 3 was just a repeat of Act 2, and I'm like, bro, all right, this is getting long in the tooth. Like, and then Act 4, that ending with the choice, that was fucking stupid. Now they literally can't, like, how do you go further with Gear 6 with a fucking dynamic choice like that? Like, there's completely 2 different choices. They will have to make completely 2 different stories.
Hey, one choice has to be canon.
Will they do that?
Or another
they're not
character.
doing that. They're not making they're like, in order to complete that story, they fucked up. They shouldn't have did that. That was stupid. And like literally, like, yeah, Gears 5 story is not good in my opinion.
Yeah, man. You know what
Not
game
good.
you need
And
to
the
see a sequel
multiplayer
to?
and the multiplayer is also worse than 4 in my opinion as well, because they made a lot of changes that were unnecessary, and they were fucking bad changes from 4. They were bad.
You still get clapped in Gears though, any day of the week. So yeah.
No, I watch people with mouse and keyboard.
Alright.
Fuck off.
So
I do. I have multiple videos on my channel. Fuck you.
So the next, and at this time probably final topic is the title. All right, so to my surprise and multiple people's surprise, the Xbox Series consoles outsold the PlayStation 5 for it's the third week because it's happened 3 times already now.
No, only twice. 2 times.
3.
No, only 2 times.
3.
It is.
You're right. No, Chris, you might be right. 2 of them has been confirmed by Famitsu. I think the third one.
3.
The third one is by VG Chart, so I can't claim that until Famitsu confirms
Oh,
it.
you're right.
So,
it was
yeah,
VG Chart.
So right now, 2, but 2 is still too damn many for the Xbox when you consider the thing. And one thing I want to point out, because Chris said, why do, when PlayStation and Nintendo outsell Xbox in America, who existed before, Xbox here in America.
Millions, by the way.
This generation, the only thing
and on a weekly and a monthly basis.
Well, not this generation, because all this year, and PlayStation 5 have yet to outsell Xbox in the US this year. The thing is, right? The reason you mentioned, we don't, the commotion isn't there when PlayStation outsells, the Xbox in America and all that stuff. My thing is, one thing I wanted to bring to your attention, right? Why is it that when Xbox outsells PlayStation, whether it be here in America or in Japan, it's always have to have the shortages in the header? But every other week, when the PlayStation naturally just outsells Xbox, there's no mention of the shortage.
You know why, Smooth?
Yeah, you know what? Hold on. Okay.
Good excuse.
No. Well, one, we know there is a supply issue, right? Yeah, even for both company. But 2, the reason why nobody is surprised when the PS outsells the Xbox, even with the supply issues, is because we know and we have the data to back up that the PS5 is much more in demand. So even if they both had the proper supplies, PS5 will still be outselling the Xbox, with the proper supply. That's why nobody's really surprised by that. We expect PlayStation to outsell Xbox at this point, because they're much higher in demand. That doesn't mean that Xbox is not doing better. They're absolutely doing a lot better than they were last generation in terms of sales. The PlayStation is still in higher demand. That's why nobody really gets truly surprised by that. You know what I mean? But the reason why supply issues are always mentioned is because that is the truth. Just like now, the reason why Xbox is outselling PlayStation, right? The main reason is because PlayStation is constrained with supply issues. It's the same thing with the Switch. The Switch is outselling everybody, right? Switch is outselling. Why is the Switch outselling the PS5 and the Xbox? Because the Switch has more supplies available.
Shitty ARM processor. Now, Smooth. I feel like I'm gonna always repeat the same word. It's gonna be my favorite word on this podcast, and that word is history. When has Xbox ever been more popular in its totality than PlayStation?
From 2005 to about 2011 or 12.
They didn't.
Yeah. Xbox
360 was more popular.
Was more popular for that time frame, mainly in North America.
So for literally, mainly in North America. I'm talking about in its totality. And
well, that's never going to happen until when you consider geographics, is just I don't know.
So, like I said, I look at history. They've never been more popular in its totality. So why else would what else would you suspect as to why it would sell more?
I don't know why is Xbox
like
selling?
why, like literally they have never been more popular ever.
I just gave you like, damn near half 8 year. I gave you literally your whole entire fucking elementary school period of time frame.
That was in the U.S. I'm talking about in its totality.
Like,
they have never been more popular.
Who's more popular in fucking Bangladesh? Like I don't know. My
point
is, to be fair to Smooth, the U.S. is the biggest, market as well too. So
yeah, but my point is like, why else would thinking about it from a logical standpoint? The PlayStation has always been a more popular brand worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
Why else would you think that they're not selling in a scarcity market? Like literally, it's a scarcity market. More people are getting into gaming now than ever before. PC gaming is growing. Console gaming is growing. Like literally, you'll talk to people at GameStop. They'll be like, "Oh, we can't even keep switching."
Console gaming isn't growing, believe it or not. It's just maintaining.
I got something here from
right now. In terms of being in this pandemic, people started to go out and buy consoles. People that weren't previously into console gaming, or they were, but fucking when they were children, they're fucking picking up consoles because we were literally in a pandemic because of that. Or we were in a pandemic. So literally people that weren't gaming were starting to game. That's why it was mad fucking hard to find a Switch in store because everyone was fucking buying them. They were just buying them nonstop.
Hey, Jack said it was only more popular the year it was on the market by itself. Then PS3 dropped in 2006. It outsold 360 until the end of the gen, and he's talking about it outsold it worldwide from 2006 to 2013.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
I don't know. That's what he said.
I remember 2006 and 2007 vividly. That did not happen.
So what? Yeah, you were definitely looking at the US sales, bro.
Can I elaborate? On that?
Yeah, and they were selling refurbished consoles as new sales as well. So those refurbished Red Ring of Death consoles, they were selling those. They were repackaging and reselling those shits, and they were counting them as sales. So there's that.
Yeah, but you also had PS3s that were selling at $600 and they weren't moving units whatsoever for a while. What happened was that the PS3 called up towards the end of the gen because of multiple price cuts and accessibility. That was the biggest thing that happened right there. So to say from 2006 to 2013, PS3 was outselling Xbox 360 in its totality was not true.
Yeah. And to this day, the 360 still has a 20 million lead over the PS3 in North America. So I don't want to hear it. So I don't care how many
in North America,
which is still the biggest.
I think it was 5 million lead or something like that.
It was closer to about 20 million.
And my point was in its totality, Xbox has never been a more popular brand. Literally, the Series S is easier to manufacture than a PS5. And it's not, and people say, oh, you shouldn't compare the SKUs. Obviously, I'm not going to go super hard on comparing SKUs, but literally a PS5 discless SKU is still a PS5. The chip inside is still exactly the same. It's just missing a fucking disk drive. It's not a Series S where it's literally, basically how manufacturing works is, if you have defective, if you make a wafer, if you have defective units in those wafers, depending on how defective those units are, it can't reach this clock speed, or some of these cores aren't working, or these whatever are not working. Literally, those quote unquote defective units will go towards the fucking Series S. That's how manufacturing works. You look at as long as specifically if they're on the same specific die. Actually, let me fall that back. Actually, I think the Series S is on a different die, but it's easier to manufacture the Series S because it's easier to yield. It's not as complex, and I guarantee you, there are smaller dies. You can fit more on a single wafer than a Series X. Those are bigger dies. So your yields will be a lot better because you're manufacturing. It's easier you have more wafers, or you have more dies on a single wafer to put into production.
All right,
and
so
you'll have better yield.
Which was actually a good.
It's a good choice within the pandemic.
Within the pandemic, that's what I was gonna say. Like because of that, that was really able to help them out. You know what I mean? Get more units out there and stuff like that, especially Series S, because I think they produce way more Series S's than Series X. Right? You can find Series S relatively way easier than you can find Series X.
The Series X is almost like the PS5 in terms of like it's hard to find. Like multiple people have literally said like, Smooth, it wasn't that hard for you to find your second Series X?
Yeah, all my Series X I had to time out for on bestbuy.com. So I've never been able to buy it from the store.
But multiple times people have been able to find a Series S online because it's easier. It's easily obtainable. So it's like it's literally like.
But why?
They're different. They're different manufacturing processes.
The fact of the matter is that they're selling, though. It's not that whether it's available or not. It's just is it selling?
I understand that it's selling. It's selling in a scarcity mindset in terms of the market. But it's like you're selling, but your competitor can't. They don't have the same. They don't have the same leeway. They don't have two different dies to sell. They don't have two different manufacturing processes. They don't have a smaller manufacturing process where they could put more dies and have a different actual. They don't have a different factory to manufacture a PS5S. Like they don't have that. So that's literally why.
That's not Microsoft's problem.
I'm just trying to figure out.
But that is the explanation.
Man, this sounds like a bunch of grade A damage control. Why is it outselling PlayStation in the land of rising sun? That's all I want to know.
Hold on.
That's all I want to know.
It's literally science, my guy.
I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying it sounds like a bunch of damage control.
You said it's damage control.
But I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm saying, look, explain.
He's not wrong at all.
I gotta stop conflating damage control with an explanation. Just because
that's the reason why
what's going on
in Japan.
It doesn't.
Smooth.
Japan. It's geographic.
Goddamn, okay. So a couple weeks ago, PlayStation 5 sold 50K in Japan for 1 week, right? For 1 week, and literally I sell the Xbox for the entire month in Japan. Like, what is 2,000 or 3,000 more sold for 2,000 versus 6,000? Like, what? Like, I don't understand. Like, what do y'all think that means? Like,
that's what it means to me.
I think people are ignoring the fact that they're selling like almost 300% more than Xbox console sells on a weekly basis. Like, I don't know.
Literally.
You can be excited. Y'all can be happy.
Excited. I don't care, but
no. In general, the Xbox is doing better in terms of sales, right? They have a much better. People view them in a much better light this generation than they did previous generation. But y'all motherfuckers need to slow down with this whole changing the ties and everybody's gonna go to Xbox and leave PlayStation behind and shit like that. That shit ain't really gonna happen like the way that some people make it out to be. When they have these moments of where Xbox outsells PlayStation, just be happy for what it is at the time being, but pump your brakes a little bit. Like a lot of people just start to get overhyped and overjoyed. Then the next week when the PS5 outsells it, then nobody says anything.
Like
it happens every single time.
Smooth, yeah, and it's smooth. I'm not like going back, circling around to my entire purpose of this fucking my entire thesis is obviously it's good that Microsoft is selling. No one's denying that. My point is that you guys are celebrating it when it's literally not within Sony's favor. It's literally impossible for them to sell more. It is literally impossible for them to sell more because they are limited by fucking factories in the fucking process. Like I'm not saying that, oh, you're not allowed to be happy that Xboxes are selling. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that just fucking be realistic, my guy. Like that's it.
I'm realistically
literally
shocked
like my original point.
PlayStation in Japan again. I'm realistically shocked. That's what it is. Like, I don't know what else to tell you.
And you didn't listen to Chris' part where he said that within what did you just say, Chris? Like within
He said some weeks ago
they sold more than they did than Xbox did in a month.
Then
or something like
a couple weeks ago, they sold 50K in Japan.
Yeah, they sold 50K, and that was more than
1 week.
That was 1 week, and that's more than Xbox sold in a month. Like, if they have stock, they will sell. That's the entire. That is the entire thesis of. That is my entire thesis. If they have stock, they will sell. Has Microsoft ever been a more popular brand worldwide than Sony? No.
Yes, it has.
That's literally a fact. No, that's literally a fact.
It has.
Worldwide, Smooth.
Worldwide,
worldwide. They have
never. So
they have never been more popular than Sony worldwide. Period.
How are you calculating that? How are you?
They have never. They have never sold more. They have never sold more. They have never sold more consoles than Sony within a generation. Period.
No,
that is a fact. That is not in this. That is not. That's not refutable, my guy.
Yeah, it is. So you're saying
that was irrefutable. Because which Xbox generation sold more?
Are you gonna let me talk?
Which Xbox generation sold more, bro?
Bro, the Xbox 360, right? When you consider the fact that the PlayStation 3 had to catch up, so at some point the Xbox 360 was more popular.
Came out a year later.
And then yeah, but it took a while. It wasn't like the PlayStation 3 came out and immediately just overtook the 360 for like the rest of them. No, it's not how it works. It wasn't like that. It was not like that. So like. And that's why I don't understand how you can say it was never because you're looking at the end of the generation stats are like, oh yeah, the PS3 sold more by like 2 million, and so therefore it was more popular.
So basically, your argument is like, oh, we came out a year earlier, so
no, it's not
we
my
were
argument.
more popular.
No, I'm just saying the Xbox 360 was more popular than the PS3.
It wasn't only just. It wasn't only.
But
just
it wasn't. It didn't sell more units. What are you talking about?
It was. Hold on.
In its totality, it did not sell more units.
No, that's what I was gonna say, Black.
What the fuck?
It was more popular, and it did outsell it in North America. That he's
in North America. I'm talking about worldwide. That is a different fucking conversation.
Specks of sands and oceans.
That is a different conversation.
Why do you even care, bro? Like I'm just saying, like I'm just like.
Smooth, I'm literally the only reason I'm even talking about. I'm just speaking facts.
Why do we care about worldwide?
Yeah,
I'm literally only speaking about facts.
Why do you care about the Japan then?
I don't. I'm just asking.
Exactly. Why do you care about Japan? You don't live there.
Damn. I'm just
exactly.
I'm surprised. I've said it multiple times. Even PlayStation with no stock should be outselling Xbox with a bunch of stock in Japan. That
makes no fucking sense. If they don't have the console, they can't sell. What are you talking about?
That
makes literally no sense.
What happened to Xbox One? Xbox One.
Oh yeah. Bro. Yeah.
What?
Let me just. Sony's just out there selling coupons. Yeah. There's a coupon for a PS5, bro. Yeah. That counts as their sales. What are you talking about? They can't sell vaporware if they don't have the units. They can't sell them. What are we talking about here? You're not thinking in reality, my guy. What the fuck are we talking about?
The problem
you're
is
not thinking in reality.
You're being disingenuous, and like
I'm being disingenuous. It's a bad faith argument now. Oh my fucking god. I'm being realistic. I'm looking at history, my guy. They never sold more worldwide.
More
what are we talking?
Sold more. I'm speaking. Sold more. Like,
bro, I'm yelling, but I'm speaking from a factual standpoint. You're speaking from an emotional standpoint.
I'm not.
But I'm yelling because this is so ridiculous. Like, literally, they have never sold more worldwide. Period. It's not an argument.
PlayStation had to catch up, then that means they had to have sold more worldwide at some point. So you can't say like just because PlayStation. Think about when PlayStation actually caught up, the generation was fucking over. The PS4 and the Xbox One was launching. Nobody was even at that time. Nobody cared. People left that generation believing the 360 was the more popular console at the end of that generation. I don't care how much a PS3 sold.
So now you're talking about public opinion versus actual facts. You're talking about public opinion. I'm talking about facts, my nigga. What are you talking about?
Okay. So
I'm talking about factual. I'm talking about factual information.
When did the PS3?
You're talking about your argument is emotional and just.
When did the PS3 overtake the Xbox 360? When? What year was it? I need to know this.
2013.
Are you talking about worldwide?
That's when it happened.
Yeah, 2013. Wow, when the console was dead. Those gen consoles was pretty much over.
And they were selling for like 150.
Yeah, get out of here. I don't want to hear that.
Come
Xbox
on,
360
man.
was popular.
And you gotta
keep in mind because you also gotta keep in mind that the 360 also came out a year earlier.
We can find this information. I don't believe it was.
And a lot of
PlayStation has to sell their console at a loss for a long time.
And a lot of those 360 got rebought because of Red Rings of Death.
What do you mean?
Yeah, they were selling refurbished Red Ring of Death consoles. Like 66% fail rate of the original console, by the way. Cost them billions of dollars.
What about the sunk cost of the PS3 when it cost about $800 to make a fucking PS3 back? Like, was it like 2006 all the way to like 2009? Like, come on, bro. They weren't making any profit off of PS3s for years, and then they got hacked.
But you're talking about the company making profit. I'm talking about them reselling fucking broken consoles.
Yeah, that's nothing. We're
talking about two different things, my guy.
Plus, you need to stop, and let me finish my point. You've been going on and on and on, yelling and shit like that. All right, listen, that shit is nothing in comparison to selling a fucking system at a massive loss over an extended period of time, and then you got hacked, and you have to pay lawsuits and fines.
What does that have to do with it selling more? Please tell me.
I don't get that.
How does that correlate to the conversation that we're having? What are we talking about?
Because you're talking about billions of dollars and Red Rings of Death. So let's talk about it.
I got a question.
Now,
that was just an anecdote. That was a footnote. That was an anecdote of my statement. My entire statement was they were reselling Red Ring of Death.
So don't
was an anecdote.
So don't bring up footnotes then, because me and Smoop been saying this entire time. They didn't outsell the Xbox 360 worldwide until 2013. They were coming from a position of they were behind the entire gen.
Question: Where did
Thank you, Jack. Thank you.
Wait. Because I'm about to
refute
Xbox
Jack Series X. That's like Xbox Series X outselling the PS5 in like 2029 or some shit.
Which game?
Did they win the gen?
This is absolutely insane
which
right
console?
now.
Where did Multiplat sell better on? PS3 or 360?
They sold better on 360.
Well, it depends on the Multiplat, but a lot of them, like a lot of the big ones, like
now it depends. Now it depends.
A lot of them sold better.
And this goalpost is going nuts.
Now it
depends. Now it depends.
If 360,
hold on.
If my entire point was console sales, how does my goal point change?
About goalpost moving.
How does my
it depends on the game. And then right after that, I said the bigger ones, the majority of the bigger multiplats sold well on the 360. How the fuck is that a goalpost moving? Because Final Fantasy 13 was a multiplat that sold better on the PS3. That's why I said depend on the game. But the majority of the multiplats sold better on the 360, like Call of Duty.
That was the question. Was majority?
Yeah, that's all you have to say.
That was the question.
So Ham Solo.
No, he didn't say that. He didn't phrase the question like that.
Oh my goodness.
Ham Solo. What does that have to do with my entire
thesis? Asked a new question.
Okay.
Like what? We just asked a new question. Nobody's talking about console sales anymore. We talk about what multiplat sold the most on what platform. Okay. You're still going back to that console sales shit. It's over.
Like I said, a lot of the big multiplats sold more on.
They sold. Sony sells more.
But my thing is, if there's more PS3s than 360, how do they sell more games? Like
the reason I was going to go back to him, he said the goalpost move when I never moved the goalpost, but whatever. That was basically what I was going to say.
Okay. Well, I mean,
my entire thesis was console sales. Period.
I mean,
then how do we end up on Red Ring of Death? I mean, that's where I'm coming from. I'm just wondering because how it ended up there.
Because Smooth was saying that was Xbox's chance as to surpassing PlayStation, but they were reselling Red Ring of Death consoles as sales. They were counting those consoles. That 66% failure rate originally, they were counting those consoles as sales. That's the only part that was playing in to their console sales, but they still lost. Period. They still lost.
So why was games selling better on Xbox 360 if there was more PS3s? During when the actual gen was actually going on, like I don't really care.
I guess Sony gamers don't buy games during that time at least.
Xbox Live was more popping, bro. PS3's online in terms of Oh, well, in terms of multiplayer, PS3's online was shit in comparison, but that still doesn't play into my point.
Most of the generation, the 360, mainly due to North America, right? But most of the generation, the 360 was the more popular console at that time. So more people were buying games on that and stuff like that until the very end when the PS3 finally caught up on total sales.
But if you look at what's the best selling game on a PS3 exclusive Vive versus the best selling games on a 360?
Not sure.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Maybe like God of War or something. But
yeah, but no, like Halo and Gears of War were like more popular than PS first parties at that time.
Yeah, they were. They were.
You know, so there was so numbers, like games like Gears and Halo, they were selling more than God of War and stuff like that at that time.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's like. And that was back in the generation where Xbox actually had Japanese games, and they were not selling.
So question is,
they were not selling.
So Bless at that time, was the 360 more popular than the PS3? Yes or no?
In terms of at one point,
no.
They were never more. Are you talking about like when the PS3 originally launched? Like, my guy, they were.
You said never. You specifically said on this podcast, Xbox was never more popular and it never sold more than PlayStation. It actually did. What are you talking about? Like, stop capping.
My guy, they never sold more within a generation. They never sold more within a generation. That's a fact. What are you talking about?
See, that's what I mean by the goalpost changing. That's what I mean.
They have never.
They just moved again.
They have never sold more consoles within a generation. That's been my entire thesis.
No, you just said they never been popular.
They have never been as popular. They have never been as popular as Sony's brand. Period.
You're a clown. We got you in 4K.
They have never been as popular, my guy.
You're done.
Y'all are having. Y'all are.
You just changed. You just changed your statement.
How much did the original Xbox sell? How much did the PS2 sell? How much did the PS3 sell? How much did the 360 sell? How much did the Xbox One sell? How much did the PS4 sell?
You're making yourself.
Like, what are we talking about here?
You said it never. You said it never in its entirety was more popular or outsold PlayStation ever. Now you're talking about in its entirety. Stop it, bro. We got you a 4K.
You just said
No.
He was
talking about in that whole generation.
I was talking about the entire generation.
When you consider the entire generation, the 360 was more popular for like majority of the generation. So you still can't say that,
right? No, but what he's saying is at the end, the PS3, even with all the Sony has PS3, the PS3 still outsold it technically at the end of the generation.
You have to be trolling us.
You guys have to be fucking trolling. Are you serious?
Trolling. There ain't no way.
Are you actually fucking serious right now?
Okay,
man, I need to drink something, bro.
Okay, hold on. We can end this right now. Bring up the total sales of the 360 and bring up the total sales.
Bring up the total sales of every generation Xbox has existed versus the PlayStation. Please, thank you.
All right, what the fuck? So you're saying, hold on. So now the sales, this total sales equate the popularity. That's what we're really saying. So we're really going to say because
sells more,
that has always. That has always dictated.
All right.
Console sales.
Hold on, I got a question.
Oh my god. Console sales has always dictated. The Wii technically won that generation. In terms of console sales, it's always been console sales.
All right, bro.
It's always been console sales.
What was the more?
We're talking about the Wii.
What was the more popular console in 2007? The Xbox 360 or the PS3?
The Wii.
No, nigga, I didn't give that choice. The Xbox 360 or the PS3. Which one was more popular in 2007?
The Wii won that fucking generation, whether you like it or not.
Question, bro.
Like, I know, I'm saying because I'm Solo's laughing like, my guy, they won that generation. Period. Like, they sold.
But we're not talking about that.
Yo, 20%.
What was your question?
20%. Listen to this.
He said it in 2006. What was more popular, the 360 or the PS3? Or 2000 or 2007.
Mm-hmm.
The 360 was more popular with a year head start. Yes.
No, but in 2007 they're both existing for the same time. Did PlayStation sell more console of PS3s in 2007 than Xbox 360 did in 2007?
The sales equate to pop.
What about 2008? What about 2009?
Because it's gonna get worse.
What about 2010? Like, come on, they ain't even catch up to the very last year.
And 20% of all Wii sales were allocated to nursing homes and convalescent homes. So,
okay, and how many sales were Red Rings of Death?
Yeah.
How many sales?
Can we equate that? How many sales were Red Rings of Death? Do we know?
How many game sales? How many game sales are bundle consoles?
Yeah, do we know? Do we know? I mean,
well, we do know that they were counting those Red Rings of Deaths. They were counting those Red Ring of Death refurbished consoles as new They were counting them as new sales, and they were counting them towards their entirety. In terms of their entire number.
Or if all manufacturers do that.
That was 66% of original Xboxes, and Red Ring of Death wasn't really. When was Red Ring of Death? Which Xbox 360 actually got rid of that problem? Which one was it? Was it the Lead?
The Slim.
The Slim. When did that come out?
It was. I don't know, but it was 2010. It was either the
2010. Yeah, it was 2010.
So 5 years later, that's when that problem was completely eliminated. Okay.
God damn. No,
5 years later.
I think it was before that because it wasn't the Red Ring of Death, but then didn't they have like the E703 code one and then the disc tray one as well too, where like the disc tray will fuck up. I know one of my 360 disc tray.
I'm just wondering how many times somebody sent in their console and somebody else from any other company has sold it, because I'm pretty sure it just doesn't go on the shelf.
Yeah, because I don't understand how they're talking about like what are you talking? So you saying if you send your console back to Microsoft, right? They send you a new one, and then the one that was broken, you saying they resold that one?
Yeah, as a refurbished console.
I don't know
that.
Well, yeah.
Motherfuckers be doing that shit all the time. Apple be doing that.
Yeah,
come on, bro.
I mean, that's what I'm getting at. I'm like, what company doesn't do that?
Like, come on. Motherfuckers don't take business one-on-one.
They were selling refurbished consoles. I'm not sure entirely if they were counting those people that were receiving new consoles.
I thought you was
coming. I'm not sure if they were counting those new consoles.
I thought you were hitting me with facts. Sounds like you're talking from emotion. Right. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
I clearly stated I'm not sure, my nigga. Like, what the fuck? Oh, you have a foothold now. No, nigga. I clearly said it. I'm not sure.
Please bring it up.
I made that distinctly clear that I don't know.
Don't bring it up, bro.
Speculation, man.
Bro, Kid Smooth's entire argument has been emotion and speculation, my guy. Like, oh, look at the popularity of these multiplat games. That's not my argument. Popularity of multi-platform games is not my argument.
Listen. I
think there's a lot of emotions.
Hold on. We're going around.
I'm going at a factual standpoint, but I'm getting annoyed because this is a dumb argument.
Listen. At the end of the day, Xbox outsold PlayStation in Japan for 1 week. It is a comeback.
Yeah, that is a fact.
PlayStation is done. Xbox is going to dominate them 5-1, 300 million consoles to 50 million consoles sold. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, man, like this is the turning point for Xbox, man. They're about to dominate everywhere worldwide.
I'm gonna say this.
It's absolutely insane. I think I asked you before.
Nobody on the panel said anything that Chris just mentioned. Pretty sure nobody.
He's trolling, but I think I already asked Smooth before. Like in 4 years, do you think Xbox is going to be outselling PlayStation or at the end of the generation?
Hell yeah,
I'm pretty sure. I asked him on the podcast, I believe, and I'm pretty sure he said no. So there's that. So even he knows that they're not as popular.
Listen, man, they just got to
like,
do.
What
Xbox,
the fuck? What are we arguing here? This is pointless.
They just to me, Xbox just have to do significantly better than the Xbox One generation, and they have to provide a lot better games than what they did in that generation. And to me, I consider that a dub, even if they don't outsell PlayStation 5 in total.
Facts.
Yeah, it is. That is an improvement. That is an improvement. That would be good. An improvement is good. They don't need to surpass Sony in order to make their own foothold in the market. They just need to. They just need to be
ask you this then? Can I ask you this then? Are you going to keep?
They've never been as popular.
Hypothetically, if Xbox Series X or Xbox Series S outsells PS5 lifetime, you going to keep the same energy?
What? Say again.
Hypothetically, if Xbox, right, If Xbox Series X or Series S outsells PS5 lifetime, are you going to keep the same energy for Xbox?
No. Oh yeah, I will. Yeah. Absolutely, because I'm a factual. I'm speaking only of facts. If the Series S and X outsell them over, like this is going to be a long generation. Like we know it's going to be a long generation.
Yeah,
They're not gonna have these what do you call it? These manufacturing problems for 7 years plus. Like at some point in time, that problem will fucking cease, and you'll be able to find PS5s in store. Like that's going to happen, and when that happens, if the Xbox Series X and S sells more at the end of the generation, they are the more popular console. Period. I'm literally only speaking of actual numbers of facts. That's
I think you're
all my
using the
argument.
wrong thing,
I'm not saying that the Xbox is the bad console. I'm not saying that. I'm saying literally I'm speaking only of facts. That's it.
Isn't the PC the most popular Bless Rare? Isn't the PC the no? I'm just...
I mean, technically it is, but whatever. It is.
Okay. Well,
my entire argument, bro.
I'll say this. Something that isn't irrefutable. Sure. The PS2 was more popular than the original Xbox. The Xbox 360 was more popular than the PS3. The PS4 was more popular than the Xbox One. And right now, they're just as the series and the PS5 are pretty much just as popular as each other.
I don't know about that, bro.
We don't know the totality of sales for the Xbox. We know that Sony is at whether like 11, 12 million. We don't know the totality of sales of Xbox. We don't know.
The PS5 is at 20 million right now.
Damn. They're at 20 million.
And the series has to be somewhere between 15 and 16. I know the PS5
I think
allocated all their stock in the first year, which is the only reason why they have any type of lead like that. Is because all their consoles, when the constraints were there, the Xbox was hurting that first year with availability.
It's funny how nobody calls goalposts for smooth. That's funny. But anyway.
But that's the truth.
I'll say
I finally got their stock.
I actually just said whoa when he said the PS5 is and Xbox are neck and neck. I mean, I ain't gonna go as far as believing that, but I will say, there is a reason that PlayStation is venturing out into other venues because Xbox is doing something right that they don't like. So, I mean, that's just what I gotta say about that.
Yeah, going into PC is a smart. It's literally Switzerland.
Well, Bless, keep in mind, PS2 was supposed to be the PC of everybody's household, right? And then the PS3 came out, and then the PS4. And I mean, keep in mind this, their whole thing was to dodge computers, and now they're on computers.
Sony have like in the PS3 generation published games that were on PC.
Yeah, they were garbage.
That development studio is dead though.
All right,
PlanetSide 2 is not a garbage game, but
I'm gonna say this: EverQuest was garbage too. I'm gonna tell you this: people aren't gonna like this take, but I'm on the belief that I don't think these consoles, the PS5 and the series, are gonna sell like I don't think any of them is reaching 100 million, and I don't think even PlayStation 5 will even get to 90 million. And I think putting their new thing going on like PC, eventually they're gonna go day and date, but all their big titles come to PC is actually going to hurt PlayStation unit sales in the long run. That's what I actually believe.
I think
if they do day and date, yeah, but if they keep this similar strategy where it's like most of their big games, right? They go to PC 2 years later or whatever. I mean, we're gonna get some day and date games. I believe like some of the live service games, right, and shit like that. But if they start doing day and date, it is gonna hurt sales. But I don't think it's gonna be by a lot. I don't think a lot of people are gonna really switch over like that, like some people think.
No. People talk a lot of game, but they're not gonna fucking switch.
I don't think it's gonna make people switch over. I think it's gonna stop people from buying a PlayStation.
But what stopped people from buying? Why do people keep buying Xboxes?
No, not the people.
Xbox.
No, why do people keep buying Xbox if all their games is on PC?
I don't think the thing is the potential for Xbox as the console to grow has ended. The Xbox is only going to sell so many consoles.
But they're selling better. But they're selling better than. No, I think there's gonna be. I think PS5 will reach 100 million.
Nah, I think this gen's gonna go the way the PS3 and 360 went. I think it's gonna they're gonna cap out around like 80 something.
No, but you got to understand, Smooth. Like with each generation, right? You get more and more new people into it and stuff like that. Not a lot of people are gonna know. They don't really care for PC gaming and stuff like that. Especially if you're trying to get a PC to outperform the console. At least as of right now, you're at least paying like $1,000 or above, right? So it's not a low barrier of entry for most people. A lot of people like convenience, plug and play, and stuff like that. So yes, for hardcores. Like myself and shit like that, yeah, of course. It's like if everything goes to PC day and date, why the fuck do I need a PlayStation if I'm just gonna? It's just one platform for all. I get every game on it.
But I think
multiple hardwares. But
I think both are going in directions of getting people access to their games, and to the point where even though there's more people jumping into gaming, but they may not be jumping in directly and via console. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when you consider the cloud and I know PlayStation has fell back from the cloud, but they're going to get back in. They already have the infrastructure. I just don't see like it. I see it more closer to like the 360 PS3. I don't see any of these consoles doing 100 million. I just don't.
I'll say I have a couple points. So I'll say in terms of like the console not selling. In terms of the console, not selling that as much this generation because of how things are going.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was a report. I don't know who made this report, but basically it was like the amount of consoles that the PS5 was selling within a time frame was significantly more than the PS4 was selling. Within that time frame at that particular point in time of its life cycle. Like say it was like a year and a half into the PS4's life cycle was selling like I don't know like 600 units or something like that. Let's give a number. And then for the PS5 in that same particular time cycle of a month, it was selling like 60,000 versus 600. It was like a crazy extraordinary multiple.
It's selling at a faster rate.
It's selling at much faster rate, but the problem is obviously supply. They don't have enough. If they could make enough, they would definitely make enough. But all these factories are at capacity, so you can't buy more space. Everybody got their own fucking lane. So
they're gonna free up capacity over time once everything shifts over to 5 nanometer and 3 nanometer. So eventually it's gonna get there.
Yeah, eventually it's gonna get there. But yeah, so it's like in terms of what they're selling at its current at its current rate, it's fucking astronomical versus the PS4. And in terms of the people migrating over to PC, that is gonna be that's the amount of people that own a PC and a console. That's very that crossover is very minute. If I would put a number on it, maybe like 10 million at most. Like if I were to put a number, it would probably be like 10 million.
Yeah, PC is still a growing market, but I think it's going to slow down as we look at this current economic climate that we're in right now. We're essentially in a recession right now, and people are going to cut back on spending. They're not going to buy these products at the same volume or at the same rate that they were before.
Yeah.
They would rather invest in the console versus buying like a $500 or $600 GPU.
Yeah,
and that was another point I got to bring up. Like, listen, I don't know what the future holds, but obviously a lot of shit is fucked up. Gas price, we're going through a gas crisis right now, right, with the pricing and everything like that.
Yeah.
So food is sorry to all this inflation shit is starting to happen, and people aren't getting paid more than what they're used to. So I don't know, man. Smooth could be potentially right that maybe these consoles don't hit 100 million because of shit like this, but who knows?
I think it still will, like mid-gen refreshes and a lot of price discounts. Like I think it will.
I think PS. Yeah, and this generation is gonna go a lot longer than previous generation. Obviously.
Yeah, it's.
Like I think we can all see that coming, right? So I think yes, PlayStation 5. Eventually by the end of it, we'll reach 100 million. I don't know about Xbox, so.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be significant. But yeah, like the crossover between console and PC is not that big of a marketplace. And even so, there are still people that will be like you, Smooth. They'll own an Xbox Series X and a PC and be completely content. Like people, like some people will still. That's an even more minute amount of people, but people will still do that. In terms of they're not just looking at it in like even if games go day and date, like you're not going to see this mass exodus of people leaving console. People are content in their console. They bought the product to do what the product is made for, and they're content with what it provides. They're not gonna go to a new foreign platform and spend hundreds of more dollars that they don't understand. Like they're not gonna do that. People, and even if they do, there'll be people that'll go on PC and they'll try it out for maybe like a few months or maybe a year and be like, all right, this is not for me. I'm going back to console.
Like, I don't want to do this.
There's a lot of people
because sometimes you get bad port. I mean, there's PC.
I have to go into an INI file or I have to download a mod to fix this. Like people don't want to do that.
I had a gaming PC for a couple of years, right? Until I lost it. I had a gaming PC for a couple of years, and there is a lot of benefits there, and there's more benefits to have a PC than a console. But there's a lot of bullshit that you got to deal with too that people don't want to deal with. That you don't get these same type of problems with consoles. So even just like most Xbox players now, they're not. A lot of them aren't buying PCs. A lot of them are sticking with Xbox. I think it'll be the same situation with PlayStation, except for somebody like me. Like there will be a couple people, right? Probably a few million, right? But the overall number, I don't think it'll really affect it that much.
It's not gonna rock the boat in terms of the PS5's console sales that much. And in terms of what they were making in terms of revenue off of PC, they're not gonna give a flying fuck. Cause companies don't even make much money on consoles to begin with in terms of sales. But it's like
so blessed. I just want to throw this in there. I mean, you're on a roll. You're doing your thing. I know, but I think even if like PlayStation 5 does hit that 100 million mark, I think this probably could be the last generation that does that, unless there is a console that pushes a significant amount better. Because these GPUs and stuff like that are going to drop in price, and they do have all that ray tracing and good stuff. And most people I know that have PCs, I mean, not everybody, but a lot of people keep their stuff for a long time, especially like GPUs and stuff like that. So I really think,
most PC gamers game on 1080p cards and shit.
They keep their cards for they keep their PC for 6+ years. Like only people like me and Dope. It's a very small, like maybe 10% of people that would like, oh, we want that new shit.
Frequently,
we want that new shit. Like maybe 10%. Like maybe not even.
It's less than 10%.
Yeah, honestly. It's probably less. Like we're like fucking 7%ers.
No, I would say 10% because there's people who will upgrade every like 2 generations or so. Like the frequency at which they will upgrade is like around that area. Like they'll wait 2 generations, right? So people who are still like on Pascal that are waiting for current GPU prices to drop, which GPU prices are dropping. They're pretty low. A lot of cards are at MSRP or under MSRP, and they're readily available. Now they want to upgrade, from like a 1080 to a 3080. Like that's a pretty substantial jump. So there's people that would do that.
I come from the time where controllers had their own ports and stuff like that. Like a Nintendo controller was hella different than a Sega controller. Now these things are all using USBs, which is just like PC. HDMI, you can do that with either DisplayPort or PC. Or with the HDMI cord. I mean, what I'm trying to say is a lot of these consoles that are coming, besides like the Switch, are getting more and more to being like a PC. Hell, you got to open up your PS5, barely, but just to put in a NVMe. Yeah, you know what I mean.
That screwdriver is a Demon Souls boss.
It's so much.
Those memes are funny.
But what I'm trying to say is just like the closer it gets to the PC, the less people are gonna, the less I feel like people are gonna feel the need to get a console, especially if their game's already coming day and date on PC as well.
Yeah,
because it's just more versatile at the end of the day.
I still don't see it like that because because everything you brought up.
This is the future. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about like maybe 5-10 years from now in a different generation.
Yeah,
well, I think the future will be more of like the shit you plug into your TV, right? Like the Amazon sticks and shit like that, right? To play these games or whatever, right? I think that's gonna be more of it because that's a more of a convenient. That's what it says. Like most gamers like that play on consoles or whatever, right? A lot of majority of them are casuals. They don't think about this shit. They don't think about no SSDs and what should I get or anything like that. They don't
what you just said right there, Chris, because I think they're gonna start doing these like this Xbox and Stadia and whatnot. They have the dongles and stuff like that, and the internet and stuff like that. It's just gonna get better and better over time. So they're not gonna continue to keep coming out with these consoles at a loss. They're gonna figure out a way just for you to plug it into your TV. Everything's digital, or you can just play it on your PC.
Yeah,
I feel like
the only way they get
go.
there, the only way that they will get there is when majority of the markets, right, that they sell these consoles in catches up with the rest of the world in terms of internet and things like that, right? We don't know how, but like America, yeah, we're gonna progress a lot in 10 years. But what about like some parts in Africa? They just
South American countries.
South American countries, they started getting Xbox and PlayStation 5. China finally started getting consoles within a couple of years ago and stuff like that. So yeah, it really depends on. They're always gonna make things that caters to like the entire world. So it's always gonna be somewhat of like an option. But this whole thing where it's like everything is gonna be streamable and all that stuff. It really, like I said, it depends on where majority of the markets is at that point in the terms of their internet and stuff like that. Because the majority of the rest of the world still hasn't caught up, then they're still gonna come out with traditional consoles. But you probably are right that this may be like the last traditional like console, or at least the one that is like where, like, for example, like the PS5, and we're starting to see that change now, where it's like, yeah, now you need a PS5 to play Spider-Man 2 or Wolverine or whatever. But in the future, it might be like, well, you still, just like what Xbox is doing now, well, you still have the options to pick up a console, but you can play it on your TV, you can play it on your smartphone, you can play it on your PC and stuff like that. So that's probably be like more the future, like having more options, right? But as is like a single dedicated thing, is like or the next PlayStation 6. This is going to be a dongle that you plug into your TV that you can stream all these high quality games. I still think we're like really far away from that.
I feel like it's going to be something like that, or like PlayStation is going to come out eventually with their own PC. I mean, hell, the PS5 is already damn near the size of mine. So, I mean, I think they might go in more of a direction where they can once again just put it on one platform again, but leave some open-endedness a little bit. But I think they still want to capture you on one platform by itself. So I feel like they might push more to making their own, type of PC that will run everything flawlessly compared to something like that we build at home.
I think what you basically described is a valid assessment as to where we're going. Like this generation, I feel like we'll still hit 100 mil this generation. Next generation, maybe only like a Nintendo console, because they're always doing weird shit with fucking handheld. Facts. And people love handhelds, so handhelds will always keep selling until like phones replace it entirely or some other fucking shit.
Well, phones have essentially already done that for like the past decade plus, honestly.
Well, right? People just don't replace do it yet. Replace it entirely is what I is.
Yeah, because even
like,
with how
even with
the phone market is, the Switch still sold over 100 million.
Is over 100 million.
Yeah, it's still 100 million. Like Nintendo's is a very like it's an outlier, right? You even look at the success of the Steam Deck right now, and they're doubling their shipments this quarter, and they're still selling out the units. Like that's very popular as well. But like if you look at the mobile market and how huge it is and the amount of revenue that's generated in the mobile market, it's insane. Everything. Like you can't
You can't even compare it to it. The console market doesn't compare. Like all the consoles and PC doesn't compare to the mobile market.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
the accessibility of cell phones.
Yeah. But yeah, so basically what I was gonna say was like, yeah, I'm not sure if like a PlayStation or Sony or PlayStation or Xbox is gonna sell 100 mil next generation, because to be fair, you're right in basically everything you said in terms of like consoles. Every generation have become more and more like PCs, basically. Since I would say, yeah, since the PS4 generation, they adopted x86. It's like well, even because 360 was all based off of Power PC.
Power PC, yeah.
So yeah, technically, yeah. Even since then, it's like hardware back in the 90s, they were very different than PCs. Like 90s, early 2000s, they were very different. Well, Xbox, the original Xbox was kind of more like.
Wasn't it more powerful than the PC?
It was,
I know the 360. The 360 was more powerful than a top of the line gaming PC in 2005.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, like
it was like 2 years later when PC completely, outdid it and everything.
Yeah, I remember hearing that too. So it's like consoles, they're definitely more complex now than they ever were before, and they're just giving you options now. Like, oh, you can turn off motion blur, or you can play 120 FPS or 60 or 30 or this resolution, that resolution.
Yeah, we
turn off chromatic aberrations, this and that.
Crap, bro.
Yeah,
been infected.
Like, y'all are getting options and starting to feel like PC gamers a bit, because you're like, look, I'm getting options.
Bless her red. Look, you even got dudes saying that since games ain't running at a certain resolution and frame rate, they're not next gen. Like, what the hell? Like, since when was that a thing? Like, the Switch is running fucking 7th gen settings. So, like,
the expectation for each generation is for a higher resolutions and higher frame rates, right? That's usually the expectation for each generation. But to me, resolution and frame rate doesn't. I don't look at that as like next gen features. I just look at that as like that's an improvement because of next gen hardware.
People see what's capable in the high end, and they think that's accessible in a $500 system, and that's just not possible. Honestly, I
only said that because
it's not viable. But then it's the marketing as well of 4K up to 120 hertz, and you're gonna get these ultra fast frame rates,
ray tracing on all games, and all that
native resolution and stuff like that. Like they sold you on a dream. Some games can accomplish it, but some can't, and that comes with like user education and letting people know, hey, like engines matter, development teams matter as well, and optimization. If you can't optimize your game for a specific platform, you have a situation like Dying Light 2, where the game doesn't get anywhere near 4K.
Yeah,
on console.
Yeah, but let me just say this one thing though before we get too mixed up and all that. Optimus Code, well, shout out to him. We all know what's going on with that, but he came in here and told us it's not all about 4K 60 and all that. It's about game design. And he sold us on it. Even me and Smooth was like, "Yo, okay, Optimus Code, we with you on that."
Yeah, he was saying that it's not. He's saying that at this point in time, right, and with the tech and stuff that we have now for these consoles and PCs. Native resolution, right? Because that was one thing everybody was arguing about. Like, oh, this one's native 4K or whatever. Native resolution don't matter as much now as it did 10 years ago because of upscaling and image. He always preached the image quality and the graphics are more important than the actual native.
He was
resolution.
preaching game design.
After
he was down. I don't know what y'all talking about.
After a certain point. After we pass 1080p, it's all like 1440p. It's good enough. 4K, it's good enough. Like we don't really need to go any further. It's all about the image quality, and not necessarily how many pixels you push. It's about the quality of said pixel. That's what Digital Foundry have been trying to. They've been talking about we don't want to focus on resolution anymore. They want to focus on the image quality, but they don't know how to properly make an assessment.
Right,
of
because
that.
you like because a game. So you get a game that both games are native 1440p, right?
And they look they can look vastly different.
Yeah, because one will have I don't know a billion pixels, and the other one only has 100 million pixels. You know what I mean? But they look vastly different, even though they're the same resolution.
Perfect example of this: Horizon Forbidden West performance mode.
They didn't change the resolution.
Massive difference in image quality because they fixed that mode. Like that mode in particular was very distracting. A lot of fuzziness, jagged
Visual
edges, too much noise. It just looked bad, and they fixed it, and it's the cleanest shit ever now.
Yeah, and it had nothing to do with the resolution. It was literally the
way beat it. Like y'all niggas ain't even beat the game.
I mean, I've seen it. It looks a lot better.
I have to beat the game to see the
just throw
difference
some
between one
shade
patch
in
and the
there for
next.
no reason.
Like what was unnecessary? That was unnecessary, man. That was unnecessary. We didn't.
This man be lying to the people.
That was unnecessary.
And second of all, you should be thanking me because I bought you the game.
Whoa!
It was a bet. Even though it was a bet.
Yeah, and I beat it and you didn't.
I could beat it right now.
But yeah, I think the next generation, this is gonna be even more like a PC. But I don't know. I think we'll probably see the form factor of a console changing before they just basically turn into PCs. Like virtually just, we're selling you our PC. Like, I think the form factor will probably change before then, but I'm not sure. But yeah, like these consoles nowadays, they're basically they're essentially PCs, but just with custom software.
Yeah, they're heavily custom, PC and stuff like that. But like they do their own thing. They have their consoles that have their own benefits that are separate from PC because they're not like people just say they're just PC, but they're not desktop PCs. They're like specialized computers, right? Mm-hmm. To build, that are more custom to build games on and stuff like that. But they have the same architecture as PC, but more custom and shit like that. So
yeah. And still currently they still serve their purpose as in ease of access and ease of use. They still serve their purpose. Even though they're more complex, they still serve their purpose. A PC is not as easiest to use, like period. That's why
I'm still a console gamer, bro.
Until they hit that threshold where they're virtually identical, then that would change the entire dynamic that we're looking.
Remember the Steam box? Remember that shit?
Yeah, that shit completely flopped. It did. It was a good idea though. It was a good idea, and that's probably what's gonna happen. Is like once PC gets to the point where it's like they can be just as small as console and more of a plug and play convenient to a lot of people. I think more people would jump on, but I think as of now the console will still be the preferred way that most casuals choose to game on.
Yeah,
in my opinion, even though PC gaming is growing a lot and whatever, but they count everything as PC gamer. Like you can have a 2014 laptop playing Torchlight 2 and you get included as a PC gamer. So.
You're a PC gamer, bro. You're a PC gamer, dog.
That ain't it.
You can still be playing on PS3 and still be a PS3 gamer or PlayStation gamer.
A PlayStation gamer, you still count that PS Plus stuff.
Yeah, you still count
We're
that
100 million deep on PlayStation Plus.
Hey man, you could be on that PS1 Classic and be a PS1
Classic.
Gamer.
Smooth, take us on.
PS1 Mini.
Yeah. Man. We're done.
Yeah, I guess we're good. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching the episode. I appreciate it. You guys. Shout out to Jack Move, BG for coming through the chat, Verge, Brizzle, Geek, Legion. Appreciate it. It's been a good episode. Shout out to Ham Solo for coming through. Always good to have you on the show. Bless Red, Chris, Dope, Ole Man Logan. Do anybody got anything going on? Oh, matter of fact, just a quick question. Is anybody playing World Slayer tomorrow?
What the hell is that?
Outriders.
Nobody's playing Trash Riders.
No.
Well, I never even heard of that. What is that? What type of game is that?
It's Outriders. The expansion.
Oh, Outriders.
Yeah.
You should say Outriders.
Yeah.
Damn, nobody playing that dog shit. No.
Look at Smooth over there funding Square Enix still.
No, well, it's one of their last great releases.
Great,
great,
by the way.
I'm not giving them that credit. That's People Can Fly. They just have publishing rights.
Triangle Strategy.
Yeah, but it still wasn't that great of a game.
I thought it was pretty good.
It was okay.
I'm looking forward to World Slayer.
Why? Why?
Boy.
No, because I've been waiting to play Outriders since I beat the game. Now I want to play I'm happy they're doing an expansion. Something Halo ain't doing. So,
wuss. Damage.
Nah, I'm just looking forward. I'm just happy that they actually got like an actual expansion that like I can play. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I'm assuming another 10 or so hours. You know what I mean? I don't mind diving into and co-op. But I think I had a lot of people to play with when the game came out like last year. So I'm trying to see if that energy is still there for people.
Nah, it's dead.
They ain't fucking with that shit no more.
Nobody wants that. Come on.
Ain't nothing to play though. So
I've been playing Diablo.
There's tons of stuff to play. You just ain't looking.
Well, no.
Like what?
There's nothing to play for that Smooth will like. There's definitely things to play, but not.
You gotta get on that shredders, bro.
Nah, I've been playing Diablo 3 again. Working my way through that.
I need to play Diablo 2. I want to play.
Yeah, because I'm really excited. I'm really excited for part 4. Like I'm getting that day 1, and oh yeah, there was the Nintendo Direct thing, right? So Capcom they finally brought back the legacy game I wanted them to bring back, or at least one of them, right? They finally brought back Mega Man Battle Network Collection, and it's coming to all platforms. You copying that on Game Pass, Smooth?
That's one of the games that they're just skipping Xbox, right?
Oh shit, I forgot. Never mind, my bad.
Oh boy,
you're trolling.
Oh man,
you're trolling. Oh shit.
I just like the energy for Capcom.
I just like the energy of we don't want to
same energy.
No.
Yep.
I like
you don't want old games one day, but you champion them the next.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
What I'm saying,
it's not
from the group of people that hated. They're like, why would I buy a new system, play old games? They out here hyping up Mega Man.
Yo, that ass like
who did that?
What do you mean who did that?
Yeah, because you said it right after.
Say names, man.
Oh, you're talking about the Sony. You're talking about the Sony community. They're like, we don't buy new consoles to play old games.
Yeah, and then over here like, oh man, I can't wait to play Mega Man.
Hey, that's mainly BG that I be hearing saying that shit. Honestly, that's mainly just BG.
Because I thought the sentiment was like old games shouldn't be the highlight of a new console. It should be new games that should be the main highlight, and old games are just a bonus.
Yeah,
that's what I thought the sentiment was overall. But I don't know. I could be wrong because I never said that.
But Smooth doesn't.
Let's just say who said it.
Smooth doesn't give a fuck about it because it's not popular enough.
Yeah,
it's not big enough. It's not big enough. It's not Final Fantasy level. So
I wanted to
I don't give a fuck about that shit.
Because Square, some of their games, right? They're not coming to Xbox. He said Square Enix is a shit company because of that. I want to see if he keeps the same energy with Capcom.
Well, Capcom,
even though Capcom
has put enough quality content on Xbox.
Okay.
And same thing with, like I said, like I didn't. The thing is, I liked Square Enix, their Western division. They sold it, so there's nothing for me to appreciate for Square Enix that's left. They're garbage now. They kept the only teams that know how to not make a game for Xbox. So,
actually, they just did a showcase yesterday of a game that's actually coming to Xbox. Star Ocean Divine Force.
He ain't playing that shit. He ain't playing that shit.
It's not even coming. That's not even coming to the Switch. It's coming to Xbox. And it's funny because it's like, yo, Nintendo gets Sega exclusive. Nintendo gets Square Enix exclusive. Nintendo gets Bandai Namco exclusive. No, I don't know.
Nintendo is a Japanese
company. Nobody complain. Like I don't complain that these games don't come on PlayStation. You know why? Because I buy them on the Switch.
Yeah.
But a lot of games that are exclusive to PlayStation, exclusive to Switch, are games that just seem like they're just too anemic to run on anything else.
If you look at some like Daemon X Machina or some shit, like I mean, Daemon X Machina is now on PC, but like
any game on the Switch can run on PlayStation or Xbox.
Not pretty sure it can, but the thing is, it's just like, I mean, I'll say this: a lot of the games are exclusive to Switch. I don't want to play.
Are specifically made for that.
Yeah, because I don't even buy them when they come to the Switch. Like,
I know, but that's the thing. So it's like a lot. That's why that exactly what you said. You don't buy or play those games, so you don't care if they come to Xbox or not. But that was the same thing with some of the Square Enix games as well. You don't buy or play them as well, neither. So
yeah, but
people were trying to figure out why they didn't care.
You never beat a Final Fantasy. You never beat a Final Fantasy.
Hey! I've never beaten a Final Fantasy game.
And it's like,
no, that's cool. You don't have to. But I'm just
people are saying people are saying like, damn, bro, you never beat a Final Fantasy game, bro. You saying fuck Square Enix? All my homies hate Square Enix. Like, goddamn, you never even beat one. That's all everyone. That's how everyone was going at. That's it.
Yeah, just like Monster Hunter, right? Monster Hunter World, right? Came to Xbox, came to PlayStation 4, right? And then the next Monster Hunter Rise, is exclusive to the Switch. Nobody complained about it.
Which I don't understand, but
nobody complained. And Monster Hunter Rise is doing fucking like it was so like what 7 million in like 3 weeks or some shit like that. Like. It did crazy number. That's what I'm saying. It's like people pick and choose, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
guys. Chris, you getting Star Ocean?
It looks. I don't like the in-game models, man. I think they need to work on that. But I think the gameplay. I like how seamless the gameplay is because it's different from something like a Tales of Arise. So, combat-wise, it looks pretty dope. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna pick that up. I'm gonna pick that up. Soul Hackers. A lot of the JRPGs that are coming out this year, I'm picking up day one. So, and I hope Xbox, like smooth. I hope they play Soul Hackers and shit like that.
I'm gonna check out Soul Hackers. It's turn based, right?
Yeah, it is turn based. So you're probably not gonna like it.
I gotta beat one turn based game. Do you think it? You think it'll be?
Well, then pick Persona.
Demon.
Persona 5.
Yeah. You gotta beat Persona because that's your bet. If you pick one, you gotta beat Persona 5, bro.
Persona 5 Royal. Yeah.
But
you're gonna be one turn based. It should be that game.
Yeah, the game's amazing.
I gotta beat one turn based, and I gotta beat one Bethesda Todd Howard game. I gotta beat them.
Fallout 4. That's the most recent. That's the one from last generation. That's the most recent one.
That game sucks.
Yeah, but they did.
Keep playing Skyrim. Keep playing Skyrim.
I mean, no. I agree with you, Blaze, but I don't think he will. I don't think he would jive with Skyrim. I think the only game that he may be compelled to play through will be a Fallout 4.
I guess.
Nah, because the thing is that I don't like when games add all these additional objective-based gameplay that, like, for example, if I see Fallout and I'm in first person, I see a gun, I just want to shoot things, right? And in Fallout, I played it. I know there's a couple things you have to do. I don't know how to, believe it or not, I don't know how to use a fucking Pip-Boy. I don't know what it's for, and I don't want to base it. I don't want to build anything.
It's an inventory menu system.
Pip-Boy. It's your inventory. It's your map.
I don't know, man. When I pull it up, it just gives me a headache. Like,
is it hold on, and Smooth. And how do you and how complex you think Starfield is going to be? Just as complex, if not even more.
I didn't see a Pip-Boy, so I figured it's
going to have the same fucking
his demon is the Pip-Boy.
Just because it ain't in a Pip-Boy style menu system doesn't mean it's not going to be the same style.
It's still going to be
it's going to be a lot of information. Yeah. It's going to be information that you're going to have to read and understand.
It's going to have a shitload of RPG systems and mechanics.
Yeah.
Like all Bethesda games does.
I don't know, man. Yo, I tell you, like, some games, the remedial comes out of me, dude. And I feel like, dude, this is not a game. There's some games I really need to, like, sit down and just, like, all right, how do I fucking play this? Like, and try to enjoy it. And it's like that with RTSs. It's like that with certain, like, games. It's like where it just feel like, man, these guys know how to develop the fun out of a fucking game. But
you didn't know what was it with you were playing what Chrono Trigger. what's the name? The game Octopath Traveler, and you didn't know what the menu button was or how to equip armor.
Yeah, like
I was like, bro. Press every button on your controller.
This man's not gonna like Starfield. You are not gonna like that game.
Smooth was dead ass on Twitter asking about how to press the menu button. Bro, hold up. A controller only has so many buttons, Smooth. Why did you go to Twitter?
Listen, Smooth was just on Twitter like yesterday. He didn't know how to dash in Shadow Warrior 3.
Yeah.
Like, bro, press every button before you go to Twitter. What the fuck?
Isn't there a start menu? You can look at the controls in the start menu.
Like, that's too much. Smooth rather put out a fucking tweet.
What? Bro, what are you doing? You really just press like 3 buttons? Like, all right, I'm done. Let me just hit up Twitter. Like, what the fuck? Like,
really
what?
Confused. Like, there's a start menu that shows you the controls of the game.
I don't know what happened in chat run, but I kept doing because the thing is, it's like I'm double jumping. It's like I'm like literally touching the ledge, and the thing is, I'm so used to games where you know
dash. And they had a dash in the tutorial. What do you mean?
That's true. You do learn.
But I think I just like bullshitted my way through the tutorial. Though. Like honestly, no. Because the thing is, in most games, when you jump, the closer you are to the ledge, they do the automatic, grab shit. And when that shit was happening, I'm like, dude, how am I missing this stupid ass thing? And then I didn't realize you could dash. I didn't realize you could dash. So when fucking Logan said, I was like, damn, I want to delete this fucking tweet now.
Bro, Smooth, you're a fucking legend, bro. I can't. You're a fucking legend. What the fuck?
Takes this man longer to send out a tweet than to look at the controller menu.
Facts. Like, what the? You have to compose the tweet. You have to make sure there's no spelling errors. Like, bro, just look at the menu.
And then you gotta wait for the replies.
And
man, Smooth sent that tweet out there and sat there and waited for a reply. To sit there and have somebody analyze his footage and go, and listen, this was my thought. This was my thought process when I said that. I was like, Smooth, you a fucking idiot. Dash.
Twitter troubleshooting.
And then, but not only that, I replied, I was like, Smooth, you got a dash. He's like, what button's that? And then so this man's waiting for another reply. I'm like, L1 or I was like, L1 or L2. One of them. I'm not even playing the fucking game. It's one of those buttons.
I can imagine the Jeopardy music playing while he's waiting for your response. Like, which button is it? Just na 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 na. Like, bro, just fucking press buttons. What the fuck?
Yeah, all right. Hey, so all right.
Hey, we gotta end it. Smooth.
I mean, but hold on. We can't expect much less from Smooth when he couldn't read in Returnal and was just getting all the parasites.
Smooth.
Taking all the parasites. He's like, what the fuck are these doing? Why am I dying when I take this?
Smooth. You know how much, like,
I love you, Smooth.
And Western RPGs, right? Like the Bethesda ones, right? And Western RPGs, you know how much reading you got to do and item descriptions you got to read and weapon descriptions and figuring out how to min-max your build and shit like that. Like, if you had a hard time with that in Returnal, which didn't have as much RPG systems, like, I don't know, did you play Divinity Original Sin 2? Like, did you play, like, what Western RPGs have you played? Because Xbox is supposed to be like the WRPG box, right?
Have you ever played the Mass Effect trilogy?
I just started that like a couple days ago. I'm still like,
I would say that might be a good entry.
Yes, I think he would like Mass Effect, right? But that's BioWare. I want Smooth to play Fallout 4, right? But there's the RPG, and then play Divinity Original Sin 2, and he'll see like, this is what are actual Western RPG like with like high quality is supposed to really be like.
Divinity and hold on, Original Sin 2. Nah, I don't think he'll like that.
Nah, it's because it's more of a turn based. It's more of a turn based, but it's fucking amazing though. I'm loving that shit.
Yeah, man.
I think they gave that game for free. I think they gave the 360 version of that for free.
Yeah. But
probably the first one, not the second one. Yeah.
All right, let's. I told you, Bless. Like, I forgot to put my fucking fan back into my PC. Right,
What?
Yeah, you took the picture and was like, wait, hold up, something ain't right here. Something ain't right. Hold up, you can't put my finger on it.
Because talking about my temperatures are hot. Yeah, your fan's on your PC.
No, so the whole purpose of me, because I had bought a CPU cooler, because my fucking thing got like, I forgot what happened, but I got to the screen where it says my shit was overheating. I'm like, well, what the fuck is going on? And then I was complaining that my computer was getting kind of hot when I'd be playing like certain games on it. So I looked into like I don't know if it's top of the line, but I picked the best possible CPU cooler I can that was recommended.
Yeah, U12S is really good.
Yeah, so I put that in there, and I like, the thing is, it was recommended that you put it in with the motherboard out. So I had to start undoing a bunch of shit. And when I put it back together, I was like, oh wow, it was easier to put it back together than it was to take apart. And then I took a picture with everything, right? And then people started hitting me like, where's your fan? And I'm like,
you were looking at the tweet and then looking back at your computer and then look back at the tweet and look back at the computer like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I forgot.
So, but the crazy thing is, when I was looking at my, I was already at work, right? So I'm like, did I throw it away or some shit like that? So I had bought literally like a 3-fan set, and then when I came home from lunch and I checked the box where I put everything back in, and there it is, the fan that was originally supposed to be there. So I don't even know how to put this motherfucker back in. So I'm gonna have to I forgot
mount
where
it in your case.
You
mount
gotta
it in your case and route the cable, the 3-pin fan cable somewhere in the back of the case back to your motherboard or fan hub.
Yeah.
Very simple. Very simple. We can install fans now.
Hey, just look up a YouTube video. It's not hard.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure. No, I was looking at a good thing my case is see-through, so I see where exactly it got to go. So I was confused because I just don't remember taking off this fan. That's the problem. I don't remember taking it off.
Did you black out while you did this shit? How the fuck you don't remember? You blacked out, bro.
Oh man. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go to bed. I gotta get at least 20 minutes of gaming before I go to bed. I appreciate you guys for sticking through. You guys got me feeling like I should get my head checked.
We forgetting fans talking about being remedial. I mean,
you said you said that. I ain't say that.
No,
you said that.
Because man, I don't get it. Like, some things I have like sense, and then there's some things where I should have like common sense, and it just, I'm like, yo, how is this happening? Like I don't know. It makes me question things. But yeah, man. Thank you guys for watching. It's been a great show. We will see you guys next Wednesday. Ham Solo, you got anything? I know you. I think you're really the only one outside of Logan, and Dope Boy sometimes that does content outside of this podcast. So
yeah, I appreciate that, bro. So yeah, you guys can check me out at TSWS Gaming on YouTube, and then on Twitter you can check me out at HamSolo05 Gaming. Just holler at me if you want to get on the show or talk games. I interview people twice a week. And it really doesn't matter, as long as you're a gamer or whatever. If you appreciate what we do, then you're more than welcome to be on. Just keep it respectful. That's all I ask.
Absolutely. You just dropped the recently Xbox wireless headset review after 1 year. I'm gonna check that out after the show. So
you were talking shit about BG making a 25-minute video about monitors. Well, I made like 5 more minutes than that. I made a half-hour video of how I ended up with the Xbox wireless headsets and all the different headsets that I tried versus that one. So if you're kind of curious just to see like what my experience was, and if you're kind of curious about getting a new headset, I'd say check it out. You'd find out some stuff you might not know about it.
Cool. Heard it here. Let me put it in the chat right quick.
I got a pair. My pair's still running. Shout outs to Dope Boy J for the
carry
discount.
Are you sleep talking?
Oh.
Yeah, this man about to be slumped, bro.
Oh nah, I said shout out to Dope Boy J for the discount.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
I remember
he's playing
that.
Forbidden West right now. That's why he's falling asleep.
Wow.
Shit.
Damn.
Shit. You gonna make a lot of people mad with that.
Logan,
whatever.
You got
It's just for
anything?
fun.
Logan, you got anything going on?
No, definitely. I put out the review for Deadcraft over at Level 1 Gaming. Don't forget to check us out over there. And I'll be doing some more reviews for certain games coming from then here. Coming up hopefully soon. So
awesome, man. Awesome. All right, man. Everybody, I can say peace. I just wanted to make sure, those who do content are able to shout that out. But yeah, I know where to find Dopest J. I mean, where's your next? I mean, you haven't when's your last? I know you had that.
I do content.
Chris, you do YouTube content?
What's up, man?
Do you?
Nah, stop it, bro. You know
I do Twitter
Spaces. Twitter Spaces.
Nah, he did content too on his YouTube, nigga.
Well, yeah, every now and again. No, but the only reason why I want to bring us Twitter Space is because 2 days ago I did a Twitter Space on level design in video games, like the importance of level design and why gamers overlook them. And we actually had a actual level designer. He joined like an hour after we started, but an actual level designer who worked at Ubisoft and stuff like that. Like he worked on Watch Dogs Legions and stuff like that. And he came through and blessed us with a whole bunch of knowledge and stuff like that. If y'all want to check that out, y'all can just follow me on Twitter.
Wait, do you re-upload these?
That guy's a great guy. I forgot.
It's Agent Deli. A lot of people know him.
Deli.
The Asian Deli guy.
He be on Lucas' podcast a lot. I love hearing his perspective.
I like Deli.
And I was gonna say, I kind of want to see Smooth's reaction to what he said about Starfield and on Scumcast, because he was breaking down a lot of shit, and it was.
Listen, Smooth knows about Bethesda, man. It's because his Xbox has them now, but Smooth knows about Bethesda, man. He just capping.
Yeah, it's but from hearing it from a developer standpoint, it's very interesting how a developer sees it. I like it.
The game man is out. I don't even know if the game gonna be good.
All right. You guys have a wonderful day. It's been a pleasure. Xbox is the best box, and I am the best bot. And for at least a week, the Xbox is the best console in Japan. So, you guys have a good night.
Low blow.
Oh, I like the achievement sound. That's awesome.
I like when you said Xbox is the best box. And you hear the
Xbox sound,
the chime, the Xbox chime.
Who did that?
I was like.